dari arah A-main. Dan udah ada neural theft yang dibuka oleh NDG. Informasi sudah masuk. Semua pemain-pemain dari RRQ sudah viral. Didapetin informasinya. Jeremy bakal menyisir. Dan ada satu sisi sebuah cloud burst yang bagus untuk menutup vision. Estrella double kill. Apakah clutch ini akan menjadi sebuah kenyataan bagi Estrella? Masih coba untuk nahan. Spike udah mulai di-ping. Estrella swingkan triple kill. Clutch bagi Estrella. RRQ kembali berhasil untuk selamat dari jurang yang hampir aja membuat mereka kehilangan satu angka. Agak ngeri nih, impas tapi. Fair.
Soalnya round sebelumnya harusnya RRQ menang.
Iya.
Dan round ini harusnya RRQ kalah.
Yes.
Jadi impas dah aman. Impas.
Degan sih tapi
kan,
tadi.
Kelihatan kan, Estrella cocok main Viper.
Iya.
Cuman ntar tinggal gimana si David di Cypher. Menurut gue baru bisa confirm setelah second
Cypher defense ya, Cypher attack
Cypher
kan
defense
dia maininnya kelihatannya masih kayak mainin Viper.
Iya, maksudnya emang gak jadi tumpuan, gak jadi point man-nya kan.
Iya, betul.
Tapi si point man-nya udah tumbang nih. Jeder udah hilang, meregang nyawa begitu saja tanpa adanya trade. Dan kalau lu perhatiin tim Secret di posisi Iko, tapi Estrella meskipun ada trap dia tetap ngeliat ke flank. Entah game sense apa yang bikin dia nengok. Cuman nih orang dari tadi bisa nge-spot orang yang berusaha nge-flank meskipun ada trap. Di sisi lain kayak nggak percaya sama trapnya, tapi ya udah yang penting nge-kill. Xvero pun berdiri di balik trap. Gue nggak ngerti. Dari tadi tim Secret berusaha nge-flank dan nggak pernah berhasil sama sekali. Flank rate-nya 0%. Xvero membuka jalan sendirian bahkan ke arah B-side. Satu pemain lagi tumbang 4 lawan 2 meskipun ada Vandal di tangan Jesse Fash. Cuman lu lihat datang Estrella dari belakang. Dikunci. Ini malah jadi crossfire. Kalau Secret nyebrang selangkah 2 langkah lagi hilang sudah. Dan bahkan Xvero akhirnya bisa di shutdown. 1v3 low HP pula Jesse. Boleh respect sih tapi ke Jesse Fash sih. Jangan lihat umurnya lah, lihat tembakannya lah.
Udah agak deg-degan banget sih tadi Jesse Fast.
Dan itu nggak akan kalah sih, masih ada Estrella.
Iya masih ada Estrella dari arah mid. Cuman itu kalau satu pemain yang dari arah backside-nya kena juga sama Jesse Fast, sisa Estrella sih agak deg-degan juga sih. Jadi ngekos harga yang mahal sebenarnya untuk RRQ dari segi ekonomi. Dan RRQ default play mereka benar-benar sempurna dan menurut gue ini adalah sebuah counter strat yang udah diciptakan khusus untuk melawan dari tim Secret. Karena lo bisa lihat betapa disiplinnya pemain-pemain dari RRQ. Walaupun udah ada trap wire yang dipasang, tapi karena udah mulai, mungkin menurut gue udah mulai bisa baca game plan dari tim Secret, mereka selalu investasi satu pemain di dua sisi sekaligus. Satu di waiting A main, satu di waiting B main, dan selalu bisa untuk mendapatkan hasil. Flips the Dare kali ini akan coba untuk masuk via double door. Split A yang kelihatannya akan coba dilakukan oleh punggawa-punggawa dari arah kita. Udah ada Invi yang bertengger di atas yellow. Double swing, untungnya ada Flip the Dare. Berhasil melakukan refract. Burst ke arah sebuah Viper Speed yang mencoba untuk mencari keberadaan dari Borkum. Secret masih belum rotate. Jesse Fast nahan di hall, A main full control. Menandakan ini akan menjadi site yang gratis bagi punggawa-punggawa RRQ. Tinggal dicuekin aja. Kelihatannya game plan dari RRQ sekarang bakalan coba untuk ngambil ke arah defender spawn. Tapi Jeremy bakal coba cek dari arah flank. Kalau Estrella aware lagi, ini emang udah bener-bener dibaca habis menurut gua. Estrella aware, tapi untungnya Jeremy menangin fight tersebut. 3 versus 4. Jesse Fast mesatkan sebuah recon, cari informasi, Jamkin ke spot, dan Flip Jeder bertukar posisi kali ini. Mengganti kita dengan Vandal. Borkum dapetin 1 kill, tersisa Flip Jeder. 1v2 situation. Beberapa kali kita melihat pemain ini mendapatkan clutch, tapi Jeremy begitu siap untuk mendapatkan sebuah refract dan membawa tim Secret mendapatkan 1 angka tambahan.
Tadi sebenarnya udah kelihatan lagi ya, Estrella udah bisa ngebaca flanknya lagi, tapi
Jeremy sakit. NS
kalah
udah
tembak, itu udah kalah tembak.
Betul.
Ya nggak bisa setiap ronde ada di pihak lu gitu kan. Ini judge-nya ngebelin sih. Diloncatin pakai judge di sini.
Sama sofa.
Iya. Para lumabas.
Cuman ya udahlah. Itu udah ronde yang good read juga dari Secret sih. Sorry, good response dari Secretnya juga. Jadi ini kelihatan match yang balas-balasan mid round sih.
Bener.
Viper speed di A, masuknya dari mid, cuman Secret tahu antisipasinya dan segala macam bla bla bla. Tapi sekarang kontrol ke arah Ebenai, dia buta. Dan tengok ke arah kanan ada flip jeder di sana. What a lucky shot, dan sekarang Jesse Fest dengan Hunter Fury dan X-Vero pun nge-trade. Apa yang terjadi? Saling nge-trade di posisi yang berbeda-beda. 3 lawan 3, ini roll tap terbuka, X-Vero beradu tembak. NDG memenangkan duel tersebut dan Infi bertengger di tengah side. 2 melawan 2 sekarang. Planting akan coba dipaksakan, satu pemain udah terspot ada di arah break. Infi masih punya satu flash tapi dia pasti menunggu. Yang ditungguin lo mati duluan. Tapi Infi masih menang. Terdengar teleport. Bisa yang mati NDG-nya duluan, bos.
Iya, sama Elmimon pedang di depannya dia tuh ada Infi loh.
Capek-capek lu si Infi nungguin NDG. Datang-datang injek bridge mati.
Tapi itu hampir juga jadi satu ronde yang harus dibayar dengan mahal ini. Sebuah approach yang bagus.
Si Borko mau kill.
Iya. Tadi while blinded dapetin satu kill, tapi ini menurut gua big brain play dari Flip Jeder. Disangkanya di momen krusial seperti itu, normalnya attacker mainin pasif kan, mainin waktu. Tapi ternyata dia langsung get crash. Dan langsung nge-swing di waktu yang tepat sehingga tadi respon yang diberikan agak sedikit terlambat dari Envy. Dan sekarang RRQ mereka bakal coba untuk melesatkan penyerangan menuju ke arah side B, mencari sebuah trapwire set power di Hunter Fury langsung dilesatkan. Tapi udah ada NDG dan juga Jesse Fest run and gun ke spot sama sebuah Hunter Fury. X-Vero menyusul 4 versus 3. Estrella lagi-lagi siap untuk menangkap satu pemain dari arah flying Jeremy yang entah kali keberapa selalu tertangkap dari arah belakang. Di posisi ini kelihatan jadi semakin sulit bagi Secret. Flash drive dilempar, tapi Estrella buta. Dapetin satu kill dari Flip Jeder. Vandal memang jatuh. Tapi kelihatannya untuk memenangkan ronde ini butuh lebih dari sekedar mujizat. Karena crossfire yang diciptakan udah begitu kuat, udah begitu strong. Infi dapetin satu kill, tapi untungnya Elmi more dari off angle shot dan berhasil menggunakan Infi dan 9-3. Ini kok ada kabar buruk mah?
Apa?
Ingat dong waktu lawan Gigi
Aman.
di 2 kemarin.
Aman.
RRQ selalu unggul dengan gap yang jauh. 8-4, 9-3 di attack. Pas masuk ke defense, ini jadi pertanyaan baru. Tapi kelihatan dari 12 round yang dimainkan di awal, mereka udah memperbaiki dan membenahi itu sih. Fondasinya udah kelihatan.
Ngelihat first half meyakinkannya pakai banget dari arah.
Setuju.
Nggak cuma tembakan oke. Tembakan udah pasti oke kan. Cuman dari game plan awal, mid round goalnya, dan kalau kita ngelihat kemarin di kickoff itu kebanyakan momen, weh, bocil Linda coy,
By RRQ.
weh,
Respect langsung dateng ya.
langsung datang itu biasanya pekerja sana tuh.
Kalau nggak
Atau
mahasiswa.
nggak mahasiswa,
Iya.
mahasiswa pertukaran pelajar. Tadi gue pengen ngomong apa ya? Oh, kalau di kickoff tuh kebanyakan kesannya carried by game. Lu lihat sekarang first half.
Lebih merata.
Ratanya keempat coy.
Bener.
Jam kini udah entry aja, buka badan bareng si Bani.
Yes. Tinggal pilihan aja itu, lu bunuh Flips dibunuh Jemkin,
Ya,
lu bunuh
betul,
Jemkin
betul.
dibunuh Flips.
Nah itu. Cuman kelihatan jadinya Jemkin yang tadinya bener-bener carried ngegendong dia ujung tombak, shot berharap Jemkin banget. Sekarang kelihatannya ya udah RRQ lebih team
Halo,
play.
tes.
Lebih team play.
Guys, halo.
Jaga flanknya selalu dapet.
Ini webcam biasa gue taruh mana sih Valorant, guys?
Sekarang ujian sesungguhnya X-Vero.
Anjing udah 93 aja, cok. Lo tinggal berak.
Dengan cyphernya. Karena X-Vero udah kelihatan.
RRQ, bos. Menggila.
Di attack. Di defense sama-sama butuh pembuktian nih bagi dua pemain ini.
Juga sih. Ini dia second half.
Ini game apa? Ini game Valorant, denger.
Bagi Secret untuk
Kamu nggak tahu Valorant, denger.
Lu lihat betapa pasifnya Secret main. Beda banget ya.
Webcam taruh mana sih, guys? Kalau Valorant, guys, sini aja ya. Atas kanan ya.
10 detiknya RRQ sama Secret bedanya.
Cuman udah ada util
RRQ punya
kebuang.
kendali.
Iya, udah ada util keluar dari RRQ tadi pas attacker. Sekarang udah tinggal 1 menit, masih jalan di sisi lain.
Atas sini kan ya.
Karena tadi pas defender Secret nge-push RRQ
Bawa
nggak ada
map
sama
sini.
sekali.
Benar.
Mereka nunggu dan begitu ada sinyal kuat drone, artinya udah mulai bakal masuk ke
Bawa map sini Sabila ya.
Jeremy bakal coba keluar dari posisi recon, tapi Flip Jeder masih bermain di dalam side. Xvero menculik satu pemain.
Atau atas kanan, atas kanan itu ya ngalahin skor itu ya. Orang ngekill ya. Maaf, Lek.
Tunnel sekarang Xvero memberikan informasi kepada rekan-rekannya dan rotate harusnya dilakukan pilihan ada.
Udah 93 aja ini guys. Apa yang terjadi nih?
Ngelawan dulu tapi Jeremy udah nge-push. Trade datang tapi datang kembali Invi sebagai layer berikutnya.
Coba di sini aja Najla. Halo Najla.
Di titik ini Xvero bakal nunggu Bani sampai dekat.
Sampai berapa game sih Valorant itu Bang? 13. Kalau 13 menang. Kalau 12 ya itu tiebreaker sampai orang dapat 14.
Crossfire-nya udah diciptakan double pick. Bener-bener rapat.
Udah 93 aja ini guys.
Sama tim Secret dites terlebih dahulu. Nah, Ding dan Invi berhasil menutup Flip Jeder. Tim Secret berhasil untuk menyelesaikan stage pertama mereka apabila ingin melakukan comeback. Menangin Pistoron. Padahal tadi gue setuju sama yang lu bilang, Mak. Udah good approach banget dari yang dilakuin sama pemain dari RRQ, tapi memang respon yang diberikan sama tim Secret ini benar-benar
Kapan Nana sadar gitu turun for Valorant? Waduh.
mereka diem di arah side, main pasif,
Jangan, guys.
defender spawn datang, mereka nggak jemput sama sekali, mereka bakal mati kutu. Dan yang dilakuin sama Secret adalah push defender spawnnya, dapetin trade dari Jeremy dan juga Invi, itu udah jadi kill kemenangan menurut gue tadi, yang di arah defender spawn.
Gue kira sofa itu lemomor, ternyata lememor.
Ujung-ujungnya sendiri lagi kan.
Iya.
Karena dia akhirnya nge-pick sendiri juga.
Lememor namanya.
Padahal ya nunggu cukup lama. Kecuali kalau dia muter elbow juga mungkin beda cerita, cuman ya udah. 4-9 sekarang. Terlihat adanya usaha kontrol tadi dari RRQ di arah Emin, tapi memilih untuk mundur lagi.
Udah for Valorant ke sekarang.
Jarak segitu
Enggak
lalu
juga
pas
sih.
pula. Gak tahu caranya kalah gimana tuh di posisinya Jesse Fest. Cuman lu bisa lihat sih
Ke Valorant juga sih.
lawannya pistol.
Iseng aja.
Ini entah respect, entah mereka over
Disuruh Om Bewok, Cok.
Iya.
gak jalan dari spawn.
Kurang aja emang Om Bewok ini.
Entah respect atau mereka nunggu adanya push. Karena dia sempat di-push kan.
Mana Om Bewok? Om Bewok ada di sini enggak?
Yang baik sih.
Cepet banget Bapak Valorant. Cepet dong.
Apalagi ntar musuh pakai
FPS kan emang cepet. Buset itu blind shotnya mantap juga ini Viper ini.
Buy RRQ bundle guys. Bisa kayak gitu loh dan gak jadi
wih,
ternyata ya
wih,
itu
wih.
Mezo aja tuh klasiknya. Tetap ya tetap klasik.
Oh udah second half ini ya.
Soalnya ntar ada bundle RRQ Vandal, RRQ Phantom, RRQ
El Mimor bacanya. Oh El Mimor. Namanya susah banget dibaca, Cok.
Sekarang ini akan jadi gun round untuk RRQ. 95.
Jangan lupa guys, beli RRQ bundle ya kalian ya yang nggak main Valorant ya, beli RRQ bundle guys.
Tapi kelihatannya kalau misalnya mereka nggak buang
Beli RRQ bundle ya.
untuk setup mini games di satu sisi, di posisi mereka yang
Jadi kalian dapat senjata klasiknya RRQ gitu loh. Katanya semua tim ada deh.
agak sedikit riskan menurut gua.
Iya.
Dan kelihatannya RRQ juga udah mulai sadar
Katanya
akan
sih
hal
semua
yang
ada,
sedang
guys.
dilakukan oleh pemain-pemain dari tim Secret yang menjadi pembeda adalah kali ini Jeremy
Atau masih dijual atau udah nggak dijual nggak tahu sih.
Bermain lebih agresif, mencari adanya pemain-pemain dari RRQ yang coba untuk menjemput bola. Tapi sangat amat disayangkan
Lu
RRQ
punya jersey Valo Bang
di
Deki?
ronde ini
Ada.
bermain dengan sangat amat pasif. Gak ada yang mau keluar dari side yang mereka jaga. Shock
Ada, nggak pernah gua pakai
dari
tapi.
JC Fest, nice line up, tapi nggak nemuin trapwire.
Singkatan dari Love Me More. Emang iya?
Masih ada satu soalnya
Penglihatan
itu.
gua.
Palitnya ini, palitnya nih.
Kan itu.
Bawah sama kiri yang di kiri.
Namanya Love Me More.
Tapi
Ya,
itu
hancur satu.
tetap shock dart line up yang cukup unusual, nggak biasa. Yang ya kita kenal tapi.
Oh, berarti
JC Fest,
duelisnya
yang
ini
bermain
Jam-
mungkin udah di atas
Jam-
5.000 jam.
Jemkin sama si ini ya. Flip
Coba,
flip
oh, masuk
flip
dari
dis-
double door dan
flip
tumbangkan El
flip
Minor.
jeder.
Tapi masih
Flip
ada
jeder.
yaitu Estrella
Flip
yang
jeder.
masih mukul mundur, nggak mau ngambil resiko, ingin melakukan retake secara bersama dan NDG
Flip
pegang
jeder.
peran penting. Gak ada yang nge-spot NDG, dia dapetin timing.
Apa sih
Dan
nama
sekarang
mereka ini
Flip
susah-susah
Jeder,
banget, Cok.
NDG mainin waktunya dengan sempurna, kelihatan sama Flip Jeder. Bakalan coba ditunggu oleh satu pemain. RRQ.
Kok gua nonton jadi kebalep gini skornya.
Aduh
Aduh, bahaya nih aku nonton kalau oh iya, Cok. Apa gua harus tinggal berak nih guys?
Berani banget pemain ini untuk
Yuk.
ngambil angle itu, tapi Jemkin datang di
Wih.
waktu yang tepat. NDG
Kedua
refresh
lo
2
itu.
kill sekaligus. Jemkin berhasil kembali dapetin 1 kill, tapi keunggulan pemain jatuh ke tangan dari tim Secret.
Pakai
Mulai
bulldog
mundur
dapat 2.
kekalahan dari Jemkin dan juga
Satu
Estrella.
lain.
Call for save kelihatannya yang akan dipilih oleh punggawa-punggawa dari RRQ. Kena timing sih tadi jatuhnya karena nggak ada informasi yang didapetin.
Itu nasnya bagus banget, Cok.
Mid-nya nggak ada info, B-main-nya nggak ada info, A-main-nya nggak ada info. Poison Cloud-nya naik turun di arah double door, mancing. Elmimor
Senjata apa, guys?
main agak ke depan. Ngancurin Recon, dia udah ngira ada satu pemain, tiba-tiba
Itu ada operator baru ya?
Itu juga tadi
Atau itu operator?
Sorry, drone-nya
Jesse Fast.
si Jesse Fast nggak spot sama drone-nya si Elmimor yang di Emen. Jadi begitu keluar Recon kaget tuh orang side.
Ya.
Gak expect, dan yang masuk malah dari double door-nya duluan.
Oh, ini operator, iya tadi.
Sekarang lihat push dari Expero.
Tadi kayak ada senjata baru gitu loh. Buset, pelan-pelan Pak. Expero pelan-pelan Pak. Buset. Itu overpick nggak sih?
Emang itu yang
Dapat satu. Udah cuan gitu.
Chance berani adu tembak.
Parah besar sih kayak ini Expero ini.
Lead pemain ditunjukkan
Outlaw kok senjata baru. Itu AWP juga ya?
Gimana main bertiga sekarang? Benar-benar nunggu Jeremy dapat kill harusnya.
Pakai operator lagi.
Pakai operator.
One hit nggak itu Outlaw
di
itu?
sisi lain udah pasti akan adanya agresif move dari arah di sisi yang lain. Udah dikunci midnya, belakangnya udah OTW ngunci, B-mainnya belum masuk, udah pasti sekitaran elbow dan sekitarnya.
Susah kabur. Kenapa susah kabur? Berat banget gitu senjatanya atau gimana?
Sama-sama nge-cross nih malah pencurinya. Udah mulai nge-cross satu pemain Flips jeder, coba untuk melesatkan semua fake out dan Jesse Fast coba nyelip-nyelip timing. Jemkin dapetin Jesse Fast dan Flips jeder tumbang. Dua hilang sekarang dari RRQ.
Kok marah besar gini tim? Buset, Cok.
Tiba-tiba saja Estrella di shutdown.
Tim secret.
Jemkin 1v2 situation di ronde yang paling krusial berhasil dikembangkan namun Porkum
Miskin dong dari RRQ guys, kalah 4 round berturut-turut.
lagi
Dengan
3 satu hentikan jari tim Secret berhasil untuk keluar dari jurang yang mereka ciptakan sendiri, Mam.
Ada bisa buy sih tetap, tapi ada Iko pasti.
Dia nembak duluan ke si pipe-nya.
Wave ya tadi ya kayaknya.
Wave. Soalnya kan si orang side-nya juga nahan kan.
Lihat backside orang side
Iya,
yang
nunggu Estrella-nya datang kan.
Betul.
Estrella harusnya bunuh satu itu. Ya, wave.
Anti
79 nice Iko.
Tapi isinya cuma 2 pelor tiap satu strip.
Cepat ke arah A-side.
Hah?
Langsung ditahan.
Cuma 2, bisa nembak 2 kali.
Dan satu snake bite untuk mendelay pergerakan dari tim Secret. Hole-nya selalu harus diisi. Sementara itu, kalau lihat tadi ngintip KDA sedikit ya, Expero udah jadi second frag.
Patah-patah.
Jadi artinya selama di
Bentar ya.
yang lain artinya stuck. Artinya itu. Dan emang dari tadi udah berapa ronde? 4 ronde second half. RRQ baru agresif di ronde tadi dan sekarang back on passive mode.
Yes.
Back on passive mode di mana mereka itunya dibilang gembel sih, dibilang gembel enggak, tapi kalau mereka ngehit ke B full throttle udah pasti mati kutu juga tuh Expero sendirian banget. Nget karena nggak akan ada backup cepat dari mid atau dari
Masih nge-lag kah?
Ini hitungannya gamble 4A.
Gue udah ganti lane kok.
Tag gamble 4A. Berharap banget mereka Secret ke arah S.
Harusnya udah nggak nge-lag ya.
Pertama dari Jam gitu, jangan Jeremy trapnya datang.
Waduh, kok jadi melempem gini nih RRQ ini.
Elmi mau attack ke 5 HP, terlalu ke spot rata sudah.
Oh lomo.
Oh no.
Oh no.
Spike planted.
Oh no. What
Bilang
happened
barusan,
RRQ?
Terakhir kali kabar buruknya adalah RRQ udah leading 9-3, 8-4. Mereka selalu disamakan terlebih dahulu, baru mereka comebackin lagi.
Menurut gua ambil agresif dikit gak sih? Dikit
Karena
ya?
tahu Secretnya pasif kan.
Iya.
Dan mungkin itu yang akan
Ngeholdnya agak di depan-depan gitu gak sih?
Iya,
menurut
bener.
gua?
Jangan kasih Secret ini keleluasaan untuk mereka melakukan set piece penyerangan mereka. Expero, dia sih pudin trigger dapat satu exit frag memang. Tapi di titik ini kayaknya yang dilakukan selain dari saving, ini lagi ada team talk dari pemain-pemain dari RRQ dan harusnya banget nih. Ini Coach Iwak udah boleh pencet tombol di ronde ke-18 ini. Karena kalau lihat dari ekonomi, ini mereka udah lose streak 4 ya? 4 apa 5 round ya?
Ya,
Ekonomi tambahannya
dari
2.900. Harusnya masih bisa beli.
Dari 3 ke 8
Iya. Masih bisa beli nih ekonominya karena dilihat juga dari sisi Jemkin dia udah punya Bloodstorm dan yes, time out. Kelihatan yang akan tapi ini good kill ada di Borkum. Pas dari RRQ main pas, dia berani untuk terobos tanpa nyalain poison cloud itu loh, Mal.
Yeah.
Jadi Flip Leader di detik tadi juga kaget kayak ini
Udah
orang
masuk
kok
aja.
berani banget jalan sampai depan gak nyalain poison cloud. Yang awalnya Bani mau coba untuk ngadalin Borkum, jadi
Suko.
Bani yang kelihatan dikadalin sama
Time out
Borkum.
RRQ cok, lagi bahas-bahas nih, lagi dimarah-marahin nih. Kalian ini kenapa nih?
Yang punya flash ya.
Kenapa
Itu
kalian
mungkin
ini
flash-nya
mainnya
adalah
begini?
Antara gameplay kayak tadi atau main full retake sekalian kan.
Iya, bener.
Kan udah gua ajarin kemarin
Cuman lu ngelihat
mainnya.
4 ronde post plan-nya Secret lah. Menurut gua opsi retake udah gak terlalu bagus.
Yes. Karena menurut gue ya Mak, kenapa opsi retake-nya nggak terlalu bagus kalau lu lihat pemain-pemain dari RRQ di 2 ronde terakhir, mereka tuh ternyata kayak pengen retake, pengen mundur tapi dalam hatinya ada sedikit kayak kelihatan gue sebelum retake pengen coba dapetin satu dulu. Dan tembakan yang kebetulan dari tim Secret di second half kena.
Ya.
Jadi nggak ada chance buat keluar.
Lag.
Padahal
Mana ada lag?
lagi,
Refresh dulu cok.
masuk ke side entry, itu utility-nya banyak keluar loh. Tapi post play-nya mereka selalu bisa menangin, itu jadi question mark baru menurut
Ya mereka postman modal crossfire, modal tembak.
ya.
Skornya jadi sama bentar lagi.
Modal tembak di Secret.
8-9 mengejar nih.
4-5 ronde
Lima ronde.
belakang sih. Ya nggak main-main juga kan.
Ini
Menurut gua
Mapris
boleh
ini
sih
enakan
ambil agak depan sedikit. Nah, kayak gini kan dari tadi belum.
Enakan ini gak sih?
Ya udah gitu.
Enakan nyerang atau defense
Ada
sih map ini
tangga,
guys?
Cuman seenggaknya lu tahu nih. Midnya nggak diapa-apain, midnya kosong, orang setnya mungkin bisa ngapa-ngapain. Ada info tambahan lah.
Bisa mobile lah
Bisa
ibaratnya.
bisa
Satu
lebih
sisinya.
bikin move lebih duluan atau
Betul.
gimana. Bisa nebakmu lebih enak. Sekarang ngancurin camp minimal. Bergerak ke arah A main dari tim Secret. Ini harusnya udah detik-detik menuju mereka ngehit. Karena tahu midnya dikontrol, mungkin mereka mikir orang side A-nya bakalan sedikit tapi minimal ada 2. Dan yang 2 salah satunya adalah Viper bisa nge-delay. Flip Leader pun nahan dekat karena punya gate crash balik. Ngancurin drone terlebih dahulu. Orang double door-nya udah mulai standby. Kalau Secret ngehit ke side ini harusnya bakal rata. Cuman
Iya, 3
tinggal-
orang udah nih.
tinggal pilihan ada di mereka. Nah kan nahan depan gini loh. Kan kita percaya diri gak sih ngeliatnya? Oh, Viper speed. Sementara itu kayaknya bakal di setup dari metal door. Yang mana ditahan sama Xvero. Pembacaan yang bagus dari arah.
Mantep nih.
Dicek sama
Satu.
Xvero kemana. Xvero bertahan sendirian.
Kabur. Lah, kok nggak mau?
Berusaha menghindar dari kematian.
Kok nggak mau dihantam aja sih daripada harus kabur gitu?
Satu kill ke arah individu 2 lawan 1 sekarang. Flip Leader menahan deket di break. Ready, flash dan langsung coba bakal nge-swing. Belum menemukan informasi dan dimensional drift. No time. Karena harus ngambil spike, bakal bisa diganggu lagi. Nungguin jam key-nya datang dari flank, ganggu nggak sih? Iya, nggak ada waktu. Fix. Enak kan depan tuh loh. Ngono loh mas.
Bener. Walaupun tadi, dan itu akhirnya nge-cost ultimate dari tim Secret. Karena mungkin udah kelihatan RRQ ini ada chance control mid dan mereka ada rotasi cepat dapetin early information.
Very nice,
Either
very
dari
nice.
B-main yang dipegang full sama RRQ.
Poin
atau
pertama
nggak
ya
dari
akhirnya
dan
4 streak plus.
stack game tuh dari RRQ
Itu sayang banget gak sih? Nggak.
Dan
Snipernya tadi siapa
dapetin
tuh?
entry
Xvero
kill
itu.
di arah hall. Itu juga jadi salah satu penentu.
Kalau udah spam aja sih,
Ini
kayaknya dapat
benar-benar
3 deh.
sempurna. Udah. Jadi coach gak sih?
Let's go.
Di
Enggak
Pasifik?
sih. Gua ngoceh kulitnya
Akhirnya
doang
dapat
aja
poin
itu.
lagi ya setelah 4 round kalah ya.
Sakit tetap ya.
Iya.
Pada akhirnya dan RRQ akhirnya mereka keluar dari zona terpuruk setelah 5 angka berhasil disamakan oleh tim Secret. Akhirnya RRQ
Ya nggak sih, guys?
kembali mendapatkan angin
Xvero
segar.
tadi.
Set piece mulai dirubah.
Kalau gue sih
Lihat
spam aja udah
posisi
cowok itu.
dari KO Invi
Mati
punya
hidup
Nurul
segan
Komen.
mati segan
Trapnya
hidup
di mana,
mati.
orangnya di mana? Biar apa?
Apa sih,
Biar
anjing?
nyala utility-nya. Dan ada pertukaran harusnya antara Poison Cloud sama Cage.
Hidup segan mati tak mau gak sih itu
Sama
posisi
pemain
dia itu.
dari RRQ, menurut gua bener-bener pembacaan yang sempurna. Tapi Secret
Oh tuh.
main kontak mengharapkan
Meletus
jadi
dia, Jack.
first blood dan benar saja. Flips jeder menjadi korban pertama dari timah panas yang dilesatkan oleh Jeremy. Dan ini membuat pemain-pemain dari tim Secret punya keleluasaan untuk nge-hit ke arah side B. Ditambah lagi RRQ sekarang udah dapetin map control di arah side A. Bakal ada rotasi Elmi More
Oh.
berlindung di balik Cyber Cage. Sudah ada close.
Aduh, kena shorty,
Jeremy
cok.
berhasil menumbangkan Elmi More dengan sebuah shorty kill.
30 seconds
5
left.
punggawa RRQ berhasil untuk ditumbangkan satu persatu di arah side B. Dan tim Secret dapetin objektif mereka. Terlihatnya kayak gak ada kesulitan sama sekali. Kayak gak ada halangan dan pantangan untuk tim Secret di ronde ke-19 bongkar side B dari RRQ. Dan ini akan kembali memaksa RRQ untuk melakukan saving. Karena kelihatannya nggak worth to try. Dan bagusnya lagi dari tim Secret adalah mereka dapetin satu angka tanpa keluar no comment. Yang mana kalau mereka di ronde ke-20 setelah ini mereka pengen ganti tempo, itu bisa banget, man.
Ya, mereka masih nyimpan satu ultimate yang bisa bongkar side lagi
Ultimate
ya.
besar.
Tinggal buka ulti, ngehit side-nya Cypher udah jadi mas-mas biasa kan Cypher.
Iya.
Tapi itu poin yang pengen gue sebut adalah
We got
RRQ udah expect sebenarnya mereka bakal ke B. Karena itu disediain trap kan, si cage-nya nyala meskipun Cypher-nya nggak di sana, tapi ada
Biar nggak mati
sofa,
sama
ada
no
sofa.
comment.
Iya, ada sofa tadi di sana. Cuman
Flip.
si Jeremy nyambutnya pakai shorty juga.
Iya.
Jadi emang Secret juga udah aware ini kayaknya mereka takut ulti, cuman belum tentu ada Cypher-nya, yaudah modal shorty aja. Kalaupun tadi dapat satu, kayaknya bakal ke-trade juga kan cepet.
Yes.
Dan jadinya pinternya adalah sekarang masih punya ulti. Dan gamblingnya ditukar. Setup Cypher-nya di A, 3-4-nya di B. Jadi berharap banget Secret itu ke side yang isinya 4 orang yang gak ada Cypher-nya.
Yes.
Cypher-nya pun early rotate lu lihat. Masuk ada Hunter Fury. Keluar cukup early. Dan terkena komen. Ini
Marah.
di awal sih harusnya. Lempar-lemparan spike, transaksi dilakukan. Ini kelihatan malah Secret yang jadi bingung karena Hunter Fury-nya tadi nge-tag. Insting dari Invi menyelamatkan diri adalah pakai ulti.
Betul.
Jadi sekarang pemikiran diawalin dari nol lagi nih. Ngumpulin data dulu, proses dulu, dan 50 detik tersisa. Sementara itu dari RRQ ini loh, nyari info duluan, nengok ke belakang kan belum ada rotate, artinya mereka masih pada nunggu di daerah elbow atau B lobby, B waiting. Dan ngambil orb, udah pasti mereka bakal ngehit harusnya, karena 30 detik untuk rotate dari B ke A di breeze itu hampir gak mungkin.
Ya.
Udah
30 seconds
pasti
left.
lu main ke B. Udah pasti dan langsung coba dibuka sama Jesse Fash. Jeremy yang buka.
Aduh,
jalan
hampir
tertutup.
kena makan shorty lagi, Cok.
Threat datang, tapi
Oke.
Dua kill, Flip Jeder masih bertahan.
Dolon 3, dolon 2, let's go. RRQ.
Low HP dari Jesse Fash.
Pelan-pelan, Pak Supir.
Ke spot dan pernah akan dilakukan.
Aduh.
Flashnya telat
Aduh,
banget.
oke, dolon 1.
Dari NDG. Last
Mantap.
standing dari Secret.
What a retake.
Itu kok ada
performed by RRQ.
ada
Respon
Sunggokong, Cok.
yang diberikan benar-benar sempurna. Tersambung
Itu finisher
dari
siapa
kita
itu?
nggak
Ada
boleh
Sunggokong
main.
ya?
Bahwasanya respon yang diberikan sama tim Secret di mid round call itu benar-benar sempurna juga. Yang bikin gerakan seakan-akan mau entry itu adalah Jeremy pakai cloudburst dari arah BB yang masuk duluan, malah Borkum dari tunnel. Itu sebuah unexpected move yang berbuah manis bagi tim Secret, tapi untungnya Flip Jeder yang udah siap dengan get rest dan flashnya yang menurut gue tadi menyelamatkan Flip Jeder.
Yang nyelamatin ya sama X-Vero udah datang
Dari tunnel dekat.
Pisaunya sekarang kena kalian semua ya.
Betul.
Pas rotate kenapa? Karena tahu info.
Yes.
Banyak yang
Dan
unik-unik
akhirnya
gitu loh
RRQ
pisau-pisaunya
kembali
sekarang.
mendapatkan satu angka. Ini udah masuk ke ronde ke-21, makin kelihatan kedua tim ini saling gontok-gontokan, saling melakukan respon terhadap apa yang dibawakan oleh masing-masing tim. Ini menurut gua dari masing-masing tim, either itu RRQ atau tim Secret, ini udah main pakai strategi adaptasi namanya. Udah bukan pakai strategi yang udah mereka latih di Scrim nih. Ini udah bener-bener kayak nyocokin strat mana yang bisa mereka coba dengan apa yang dibawakan oleh lawan mereka. Dan RRQ kembali melakukan early initiation. Cari info lebih awal, pakai Oldron. Masih ada recon di tangan El Mimor. Lagi-lagi first lane. Kontak beam, lebih tepatnya dipegang oleh Flip Jeder. Sudah ada niat untuk nge-flash kelihatannya. Recon yang belum nge-spot apapun. Di-delay tapi kali ini oleh Estrella. Kelihatan ini bakal ditukar. Jesse Fast akan coba melesatkan sebuah drone dan kayaknya ini bakalan split lagi menuju ke arah side up. karena udah didirikan tadi dari sebuah toxic stream, tapi respon yang diberikan sama RRQ benar-benar
Wih, kelas.
sempurna.
Elmi Moore kelas bro. 4 lawan 1, let's go.
Sisi yang lain Flips juga berhasil dapetin 1 kill. Tersisa Jeremy seorang diri.
Nice, match point untuk RRQ ya.
Match point.
Sedap. Akhirnya RRQ marah lagi guys. Marah sih, berarti tadi itu dipur aja guys.
Wild blind hit dia nge-spray terus.
Dipur aja itu 4 poinnya dikasih gitu kan. Aduh kata EZ win ini bro. Pur dulu ngasih kita.
Itu yang jadi pertanyaan Borkum gak sih?
Pur dulu nggak sih katanya.
Jadi pertanyaan.
Iya, yang nggak jadi. Ternyata flashnya nggak setelak gitu ya.
Iya.
Bentaran doang. Borkumnya yang jadi pertanyaan dan time
Ini pasti
out.
nih tim secret time out lagi
Kalau
nih.
tadi Borkum jadi pertanyaan, sekarang jawabannya mungkin ada time out ini dari tim secret.
Yes.
Ini mereka tandingnya di Korea ya guys. Jadi mereka ngebootcampnya tuh di Korea cok. Sampai VCT-nya kelar. Berapa bulan ya?
Pertama mereka buka barusan di second half.
Kayaknya 2-3 bulan deh.
Langsung berubah.
Di Korea.
Barusan lu bilang mereka udah berani mulai cari early info karena mereka udah tahu nih Secret ini mainnya di early super pasif. Gak mau buka utility, cuma naik turunin poison cloud daripada pemain-pemain RRQ ini galau. Akhirnya invest beberapa resource utility yang mereka punya. Cari info lebih awal supaya orang yang di arah side yang berseberangan yang gak dapat info bisa melakukan mobilitas early rotate yang lebih tinggi. Dan itu menurut gue sebuah respon yang sempurna dan cara untuk meng-counter hal tersebut yang ada di kepala gue sekarang.
Epos lawan siapa nanti bang? Epos.
Coba untuk ganti tempo.
Epos emang ada tim Valorantnya Epos.
Selalu terpaku dengan tempo lambat. Dan akhirnya itu memberikan space bagi pemain-pemain dari RRQ untuk melakukan rotasi dengan bebas.
Ya tapi sekarang plannya
Halo Om, halo
nggak tahu ya,
Crimson.
apakah dengan satu taktikal bisa ngerubah
Halo,
banyak
kupu-kupu.
hal di posisi.
Pape ke
Sekarang
Korea
skenario
emang iya?
defense-nya RRQ udah berubah lagi.
Iya.
Lu ada Jemkin ulti, lu mungkin ada opsi retake dari Dimensional Drift. Jadi mereka jadinya jadi tim secret mau main nabrak juga takut karena apakah yang dihit karena percuma kan yang masuk satu pemain.
Mau dong gua ke Korea juga
Iya.
dong nonton VCT
Mereka
gitu,
punya yang
offline
kayak
gitu.
dua duelis yang bisa TP barengan ngedes sama TP kan. Jadi mungkin menurut gua mereka tetap berusaha cari info tapi bakal coba lebih cepat mainnya dan ini dia mungkin yang akan dilakukan. Bakal
Postuk.
langsung entry dapat satu di entry
Oke,
langsung
satu
trade
tuker satu
oleh
ya.
Luffy. Harusnya
Boleh
bakal
sih,
retake
boleh sih.
berempat
Nice
karena
trade
ada
sih.
Dimensional Drift dan shotgunnya telat
Aduh.
banget, tapi Elmi Moore keculik dulu.
Demi more.
Planted.
Jemkin masih mirip-mirip pakai operator.
Aduh.
Oh, terculik
Wow.
satu. Invi dengan 3.
Wow.
Tapi Jemkin membalas 2 lawan 2 sekarang. Masih ada 2 smoke.
Here.
Opsi ngambil senjata lain masih bisa dilakukan tapi Xvero
Mirip
terlalu
jet gua sih itu
lama
sih.
bermain dari arah mid.
Jet gua
Terlalu
juga bisa begitu
kirap
guys.
adanya lurker dari sisi tim secret. Waktu terus berjalan. NDG menang dari arah
Wow, aduh.
miss the shot.
Nge-whiff dia
Jemkin.
cok. Alamak.
Dan miss tembakan tersebut memastikan angka ke-10 untuk tim secret.
Yes.
Nge-whiff dia. Kalau gua sih kena
Saja
sih itu guys.
RRQ bisa untuk melakukan closing, tapi lebih dari itu tim secret cara mereka untuk ngebongkar side A dengan tempo cepat.
Kalau gua tadi sih kena itu cyphernya guys.
Hasil Invi, pemain yang bisa untuk stepping up.
Snipernya snipernya gua tembak terus udah ke kiri.
Dapetin
Tes.
triple kill.
Peperet tes.
Single handedly.
Mati sih guys. Rata sih sama gua itu di situ.
Flash. Dan ini dia. Tajam banget sama pemain ini.
Teori aja dulu guys, teori.
Presiden fokusnya nggak siap. Padahal Jemkin itu udah nice shot. Dapetin 2 kill.
Let's go.
Kill yang didapatin itu udah kill penting. Good cover. RRQ. Akankah mereka bisa untuk closing di ronde ke-23? Lebih tepat ya, ronde ke-23 betul. Ada Dimensional Drift, ada
Baru
Fight
bangun
Speed.
DKI Arif.
Sementara dari tim secret mereka punya neural theft bakalan langsung gaspol ke arah depan.
Wih kelas nih. Teaser. Nah itu dia spam aja ngasih. Selamatkan temanmu.
Ada Viper Speed. Belum ternyata, belum dibuka tapi itu adalah sebuah no comment. Elmi Morgan
Nice.
berhasil
Menang.
Tim Secret
Iya guys.
kelihatan nggak
Menang
punya
udah nggak sih?
peluang
Ini udah pasti menang nggak sih?
side A. Tidak unggul dari jumlah pemain NDG.
5 lawan 2 nih.
Menunggu datangnya push.
Udah pasti
Dan
menang nggak sih ini
tapi
sih?
itu tidak dilakukan oleh pemain-pemain dari RRQ. Mencari opsi lain, elbow
Masa iya 2 lawan 5 kalah guys?
oleh Jemkin.
Nggak mungkin kan?
NDG kelihatan ini bakalan masuk ke dalam crosshair dari Jemkin.
Duar. Nah satu lagi datang.
Dan akan dapat satu
Duar. Itu dia guys.
berhasil membawa RRQ
Mantap kali
mendapatkan
Jemkin ini.
map yang
Ngeri juga jetnya guys. Nggak sia-sia gue ajarin dia ya.
RRQ mengamankan
Sempurna, bro.
map yang pertama, map
Iya,
dari
map
tim
ini
Secret.
siapa yang
Sekali
pilih
gua
sih?
tekankan, map pick dari tim Secret.
Oh, tim Secret. Wah, dibantai cok mapnya.
Meskipun di second
Mantep
half
sih ini sih.
sadarnya agak lama.
ya
Karena
5 ronde.
iya 5
Map yang
ronde
tim
kayak
Secret pilih
terus-terusan,
terbantai sih
pasif,
GG guys.
hit, sadar.
Oh, ada Pak Ape cok di situ.
Apa ya?
Loh,
Pape mirip banget. Ini ya,
Siapa?
Chef Arnold.
Iya.
Mirip banget tadi.
ada Pak
Iya,
Ape
yang
di
tadi
situ
iya,
guys.
Tadi.
Yang tadi iya sih. Cuman
Iya.
kayak lebih apa ya? Lebih kelihatan lebih kecil aja
Iya,
dari
iya,
Chef
iya.
Arnold.
Weh, keren Pape buff kah ini?
sih.
Cek sama
Tapi
Fire
ya,
kemana nggak tahu
sebenarnya
bang.
lagi-lagi
Salah
kalau
game kayaknya,
ngomongin
salah
soal
game.
RRQ dulu itu
Cek
sebelum
udah
dia
nggak
masuk kan,
nggak
aku
pro
udah pernah bilang,
pro
kalau
Valorant
mereka
lagi.
adalah sebenarnya di entry.
Wah,
Katanya cuma bisa main judge dia.
Sekarang karena udah punya entry si Jamkin ini, first half-nya kelihatan attackernya benar-benar meyakinkan banget 93. Nah tapi defendernya ini yang agak jadi pertanyaan. Tapi ya untungnya mereka cukup dengan 5 round aja ya.
Ya.
Dan untungnya juga
Lagi ngerayain
perbedaan
ulta di
round,
sono
skor
ternyata
ini
kok.
cukup jauh 93. Jadi meskipun
Betul.
mereka ketinggalan sampai akhirnya dikejar 98,
Astaga,
harusnya mereka
astaga.
bisa balik lagi back on track. Tapi setuju sih dengan para caster yang kita tadi udah sebutkan, mereka harus agak sedikit main berani untuk cari info karena sebenarnya
Pape datang
dari
sama
first
siapa?
half, tembakan mereka udah
Ayo.
semua gila.
Betul.
Ayo,
Estrella juga udah mulai
cepet,
bisa keep up
ngaku.
dengan performa pemain-pemain RQ lainnya dan Flip jedar. Hari ini tembakannya lagi gacor banget nih.
Parah.
Lagi ganas banget ya.
dia.
Lagi ganteng-gantengnya ya. Meskipun tim Secret dapetin 13 per skill, tapi lihat post plan-nya juga cukup bagus sebenarnya untuk tim Secret. Cuma RRQ lagi-lagi
Kayak
mereka
FPS
tuh
itu
selalu kelihatannya yang aku lihat di second half ini adalah
kalau menang ketemu
mereka kurang
siapa?
kontrol. Ya,
Siapa
kan?
ya?
Ketika
Mana
Secret
gua tahu,
dapetin-
Cok.
Dikasih space segitu banyak untuk bisa dapetin
Ketemu
entry
siapa ya
masuk
Rizky
ke
kalau
arah
menang?
side, map controlnya tuh diambil sampai ke arah jauh, ke arah defender. Jadi kayak
Kan ini
second
masih
half
grup
ini
stage
nggak
ya?
siap. Dan problem kedua adalah
Si nyari
setiap
poin
ada
nggak
satu
sih
pemain
ini?
yang tumbang dari RRQ, nggak ada trade yang berjalan.
Pape
Itu sih
sekalian
yang
jemput
membuat
BRRQ
lagi-lagi
nih
setiap
Korea
round
kah?
mereka kalah jumlah, kalah quantity.
Ya kali.
Secret bisa ngejar sampai
Mana tahu.
angka 10, tapi cukup sampai di angka 10 karena 13-10 di map pilihan dari tim Secret sendiri. Kalau kita ngeliat juga dari networknya sendiri,
ini
Ekonomi
Ekon.
chartnya ya.
ekonominya
Bisa lihat di second half deh itu. Itu
Nah.
walaupun Secret menangin ronde, tapi ekonominya nggak kalah jauh sama RRQ karena mereka tuh menangin rondenya juga mahal. Walaupun memang ekonomi udah kebuild karena mereka dapetin pistol, antiko sama bonus kan.
yes.
Pas mereka dapetin angka yang keempat,
BA Korea
yang
RRQ
dapetin
emang
ronde
siapa
setelah
sih?
Mereka dapetin bonus.
Emang ada.
Mereka tuh lumayan tumbang banyak pemain dan disitulah
Ketemu
time out
Epos
langsung di call,
katanya.
dan menurut gue itu good call. Akhirnya benar-benar jadi balance dan ngelihat dari sisi sebelah ini menurut gua dari kedua tim sama-sama memberikan respon
Bisa nggak ketemu
yang
Epos?
sempurna dan bahkan kalau lihat di heat map ini bener-bener kayak
Rotasinya.
RRQ kelihatannya lebih sering dan lebih nyaman untuk ngehit ke arah side up. Plus daerah yang selalu mereka ambil kendali itu ada di sisi arah yellow dan di bawah stair.
Iya,
Mereka jarang
benar.
banget untuk nguasain dari arah side B dan kalau mereka ke B kayaknya backside dan juga pilar jadi salah satu opsi.
Iya sih, kelihatan hitmapnya RRQ mereka sekali udah dapat entry mereka coba untuk main stick bertiga, stick berempat,
Iya.
at least biar trade-nya tuh jalan.
Betul.
Karena lagi-lagi Secret ini pemain yang tadi kita udah bahas, mereka bisa nembak gitu loh. Cuma ya lagi-lagi trade harus bisa berjalan dari sisi RRQ. Kita ngeliat first half yang begitu manis, bahkan pistol
BA Korea Isil kah?
didapatkan oleh
Siapa sih
RRQ.
BA Korea?
Sangat kelihatan mulus first half ini, kayak kelihatan wah RRQ yang bener-bener berbeda. Apakah kayak dengan perubahan role yang dibawakan sama Ewok ini bener-bener akhirnya works gitu untuk RRQ. Kelihatan sangat amat mulus 93, tapi ternyata RRQ tetaplah RRQ ya, karena mereka selalu bisa keculik di second half ya, karena waktu lawan Genji juga gitu kan.
Iya, 84, 93.
Iya, 6
dua pernah nggak sih,
sama.
Mas? Belum ya?
Enggak, belum pernah. Ini
Kalau-
kayaknya masih
Kalau
yang
6
jauh
sama
deh.
menurut gua oke lah. 6
Enam
Siapa
sama
sih?
kan lu
oke.
start from zero berarti di
Gua
second
nggak
half kan?
ngikutin
Betul.
sosial
Iya.
media, cok.
Ini
Gosip-gosip
iya,
apa
tadi
itu?
tabungan yang mahal
Mana
ya
gua
sebenarnya untuk
ngerti?
Secret.
Mana
Mereka
gua
bisa
ngikutin,
kejar
guys.
sampai 98 tadi. Tapi ya memang tim Secret di second half tembakan mereka bener-bener kayak mereka udah tahu beberapa spot yang biasa dijaga sama pemain-pemain RRQ.
Yes.
Dan lagi-lagi problemnya Secret selalu bisa membuat lawan ini overthinking karena mereka nggak yang main way gaming, mereka nggak yang main langsung commit masuk ke side gitu.
Di TikTok
Mereka
Pape
bener-bener
sering
kayak
live bareng
maksain
orang
bahkan
Korea.
RRQ
Emang
nggak
iya?
pindah.
Iya.
TikTok aja gua nggak main,
Ke arah side A
apalagi
atau side B-nya. Dan itu yang
Instagram
membuat
gua aja
sebenarnya
nggak
RRQ
main.
lagi-lagi. Mereka sebenarnya
TikTok
udah
aja gua
tahu
nggak main.
playstyle-nya tim Secret, tapi problemnya cuma adalah nggak ada trade-nya aja.
Dan
Tapi dari ngomongin tembakan sih sebenarnya tajam semua.
TT
malah.
Bibi.
Iya, dan hokinya dikit dari
TT
RRQ,
Bibi
mereka
saha.
sering banget nge-stack dan berhasil.
Iya.
Iya.
Jadi makanya begitu time out tadi main yang 4-1 David tinggalin sendiri.
Ini Cinta malam guys, live Valo lah guys. Nggak bisa, gue kalau stream Valo
Iya,
kan.
iya.
nge-lag banget.
Sering kali sebenarnya keculik juga dari pemain-pemain RRQ. Jadi terkadang kita ngeliat 4 lawan 5, 3 lawan 5.
Nge-lag banget gue kalau stream Valo, nggak tahu kenapa.
Menjadi MVP
Hello, Bani.
di map kita yang pertama dengan 274 ACS dan 35 headshot.
Terus setiap hari lah bareng
Barusan Cimo
si
udah
Aptisi.
mention ini tembakannya lagi sakit, utility-nya masuk semua.
Itu.
Bener-bener lagi ya layak lah pemain ini dapat MVP menurut gua. Fake outnya bener.
PB dulu pernah cheat pengalaman juga lah.
Gua
nggak pernah pakai
kali
cheat,
kita lihat tadi dari Flip Jeder bisa selalu dapetin kill-kill penting pas mereka mau entry ke arah side.
Main game
Dan
gue
yang aku
pakai
suka
cheat.
ya, Yorunya Bani ini udah bukan jadi Yoru Recon.
Janganlah kalian merusak gamenya dengan cheat ya.
Itu dia
Benar.
Bani. Tapi ya
Itu
sekarang
dia.
Kalau mau main pakai cheat, main game PS aja, cok.
Map kita yang kedua, jadi teman-teman jangan kemana-mana, kita akan kembali dengan keseruan di map kedua.
YouTube biru main gak bang? Apa itu YouTube biru? Kick ini rumah tarik.
Gets the first shot, looks to the left, managing to find the other one. Can he get the transfer? Yes, he can! Oh my goodness! He's got the ult, he's gonna catch everybody! Jumkin, how has he done this?
Kayaknya caster Inggris lebih seru deh ya. Kalau FPS ini guys. Ini cari caster Inggris apa? Nah ini nih.
second map, which is
Gue lupa cok.
But what if there's no thrifties?
FPS tuh
That
harus.
is a great. Then we all rank
FPS
up.
tuh harus
I
caster
Yeah,
Inggris
don't know
guys.
that's official.
Soalnya
what
mereka
if
tuh
I vote for
ngeri
no
cok.
thrifties? What if that's my vote? Do I get to rank up twice? Because it's
Oh.
like it's like in roulette when you like
Yeah,
get on
or
one of the
double
numbers.
RR,
Yeah.
where you like,
I think
you
it's
know,
just
jump ranks.
the next vote you get double the rank, right?
Oh, okay, okay.
Oke ada player luarnya. Itu player luar semua.
So
Then you know the next
he
vote.
stopped making up
The next
rules.
game, yeah.
Okay, so we have our little things here,
Oh,
so you
yeah.
guys can think
So we
about
gotta pick
this.
a team?
Yeah.
Player Eric itu player luar semua cok. Nggak ada player Indonya.
Thrifty, like they win the thrifty, right? Okay.
Yeah.
It's
Ada
just
nggak
kinda
sih?
hard because
Team will
both
get
teams won their
thrifty
bonuses
first
on that last map, so I don't
on the
even like
second map.
know who to
Ya
go
ada
for, but-
All right, well, let's start.
Rulesnya kan harus 3 Indo ya.
Wow.
3 Indo, 2 luar. Kalau nggak salah gitu deh.
Valdez.
Well, I mean, they have Elmi Moore, right? He can use a sheriff and hit people in the face,
Okay.
and he doesn't need money. He doesn't need credits to
Semua
get
bos
wins.
besar lah
So
kok
I
dari
think
bisnis itu.
in terms of, you know,
Lu
not even
kira
being what we saw in map 1 or anything like that, I think it's
Bos
just like,
besarnya ngurus
this team's
segituan.
better at getting thrifties. I don't know the actual stats. It's just kind of my gut feeling. So
Agak bro.
It's kind of why I went for RRQ.
And how about you?
I feel like right now RRQ is the better team.
Bos
Therefore,
besar mah nggak bakal
Team
turun ke
Secret's gonna
bisnis.
be
Yang
on
ngurus
the
bisnisnya tuh
thrifties more
curut-curutnya.
They have a higher
it's
chance of getting them.
more likely, exactly.
That's, I have the same thought process. And, you know, Team Secret, they get fired up when they're on the down. We've definitely seen that happen over and over again. So I feel like those thrifties are going to make
Player
Team Secret's
luarnya
side play
Jemkin
rank
sama
up as
Estrella.
We're still stuck in
Oh.
goal. All right, we are going to see the Asian picks. I surely Team
Apa
Secret
kabar
has
Pulau 77? Iya
figured out
cok,
something.
kenapa
They
ya?
did let this
Banyak
map
banget
through after all.
bot yang komen
Here we go.
judul sekarang ya. Sampai ke kolom komentar lu.
Between Team Secret
Aneh
and
banget, Cok.
RRQ.
Yeah, I mean it's probably not going to be super out of the ordinary. Oh, okay, well, Team Secret actually quite a bit different here.
Yes, very
With the breach and the fade. That's well off of what they usually run. I mean, usually you got a Sky in there for them with Jesse.
I thought they would maybe just go standard and say, okay, we really need to get some like solid ground underneath us, like get some foundation. But yeah, definitely going with some interesting picks that you don't oftentimes see. Whereas on the side of RQ, it does look pretty standard, what I can tell.
More or less.
I can't wait to see Jemkin just go
He's a
nuts
great raise.
on the raise. Yeah.
It's a great race player. He's usually, that's where he's like really putting up his damage. Actually, Breeze was pretty rough for both of the players that we highlighted at the beginning of this. Envy and Jemkin kind of a little shaky on those maps. So definitely going to need both of those players to really step up. And, you know, Envy on that fade, really interesting to see this choice. I mean, expecting some like, it feels like close quarters battles for the side of Team Secret. So we saw that a lot on their attacker side in Breeze, right? A lot of shorties, a lot of stuff like that. So maybe they can kind of snowball that.
Oh, we are going to see what's going to happen on this map. We've got Will, Cho, and Achilleos. And Will, I mean, do you still love RRQ or what?
Wow. Like,
Well,
not a game-related question necessarily. Just,
I mean,
do you love RRQ or
well,
what?
it's just such a loaded question because it's like, first of all, you're asking me to maybe be biased on an official guess, but then on top of that, that has nothing to do with my predictions. I mean, listen, I'm not going to say anything yet. We'll wait until the full match is over before we say anything about the predictions. But the fade pick, let's talk about that a bit more, right? Because like the Jess said,
all of it.
like the Jess said, not a very common pick for Envy. In fact, only kind of 12 times, so it's not completely rare, but not the usual go-to. AKA not the flashes. It's Jesse Vash playing the flash. So Envy surely trying to, you know, gain a little bit more of an advantage on that info with things like the Prowlers.
Okay, well, there's the fault line looking for a catch as Prowler does go chasing. Flipshatter just going to do a quick little touch back up the rope. Get himself out towards safety, sends out a snake bite as well to try to stop any forward pressure coming out of ramp. Clear out there. Haunt not going to be revealing too much of anything, but it's going to be a large amount of space taken by Team Secret. Estrella at the ready, just holding on to this paranoia, ready to send that over towards main, but full heaven control now here for Team Secret. Selmy more back, smoke dissipating. Ready to swing onto the corner. Oh, pulls back. Oh, no, the dog.
This is hard to predict.
This is going to be bad, but no, still gets the daze, gets the slow across, so he is going to be protected. The punish cannot be found. Now pop flash coming onto the corner. Sparrow able to find one. Takes out Jeremy, but now Envy will be able to claim two. That's going to be a massive advantage here in the hands of Team Secret. Jemkin now
Spike down
on his lonesome to try to make some texture maneuvers, and it makes it happen! 4 kills picked up. Jemkin steals the pistol round away from Secret.
KO indeed! Man, a little reminiscent of some sick highlights we've seen from Gen G, of course, in the past as well, but you saw one of the members low, and Jemkin just does not miss the opportunity. The movement here is so good. The constant left-right jiggle as he's repositioning. That keeps him alive, even his teammates are all just hyped about it. Jemkin can't believe it. But it's things like that, the micro movement, it's the left-hand movement that oftentimes makes these clips shine.
That is just a kick in the gut right there for Team Secret. Such a great start for them. And then a 1v4. As Bren would say, something about Ghost Gaming. Push out now on a Raptor. Second kill not going to be able to be found there. Borkum does manage to find the elimination. Quick turn away from the flash. Estrella able to dodge that one out, but then does get punished. Borkum puts that recovered Spectre to use. 3v3. Some weapons scooped up here. The rest of RQ still rotating around over towards this side of the desk. We're guessing and conjecturing about who is going to be able to get the first Thrifty. See if that comes into play now as Paint Shell's out in being a rough position. Takes another chunk of damage there, down to 36 now. Borkum tries to hold the site. He's going to be able to find one, but Xparrow comes up with two. NDG now on the lurk his way across. Does get that headshot, does get the kill.
Oh shit!
Spike being held.
Xparrow! Pak. Mantap bro!
Solid attempt there from NDG, but Xparrow will be able to hold the line. Still very costly.
Yes. I mean, losing out on a lot there, but a good read from Xura at the end as well, right? Here's a drop, so he's 6.5 and expects him to have to run up for the right click, just goes for the pre-fire immediately.
This goes here.
Now we'll see if they do try to just buy up. Not much, they will just want to stabilize for round 4, so as good of an opportunity as ever for Team Secret. Like you said, the pistol, I mean, they had a great setup.
Kok udah 2-0 aja
Good
guys.
read even in the mid-rounding, so we'll see if they can regain themselves here with a full buy.
Tim 1 tadi di clutch, emang ya?
Setup
Ini
going
gue lagi
through.
liat HP lagi. Maaf dah.
One of the things that we didn't really get the touch on because the pistol round ended up being so crazy. It's just straying away from using the Viper here. You see just about every single team in the world going for that Omen Viper. You know, maybe occasionally the Astra Viper set up here on this map. Team Secret doing something very
pelan-pelan
different.
Pak Supir.
Well, it does feel like, you know, the way they're playing it so far,
Flip jeder.
for the pistol, you look at the comps, everything. You know, their interpretation of how do we make sure we gain more of an advantage on the attack.
Buset,
Paranoia,
di-push
they're
nggak
not
tuh?
checking for it yet,
And
though.
somehow
Buset,
Elmore,
di-push nggak tuh?
doesn't get rewarded for that aggressive rush out. Finds Jeremy, does get punished as they weren't ready for Jesse Bash to be
Buset.
this far forward. He does manage to collect a second kill. It's knocked down 13 HP. For now, there will be a man advantage here for Team Secret as everybody just rotates out of Ramen, gets himself collected and ready to approach into Garage. Cam set up from Xfero, can try to spot for this one. He also has a neural theft available.
30 seconds left. Find you.
And we'll be able to get a weapon, it seems, as well. So 2 rifles, Jesse Vash very low. Orb secured. I mean, RQ already decent amount of value. Now, if they can take away a couple more weapons, that'd be huge. And in fact, Jesse's going to be alone. Low health. Bit of an off angle, though.
He can find the headshot, he does. That'll keep him in this one. Identifying the position of 1. Suspect the rest of the players are going to be here on the site itself as NV nearly peeking out from back pillar. Jimkin with 1 kill would give him a showstopper, but still would be 3 more targets to try to play through. Straight with the spot 1, just going to be swapping out the weapons there, grabbing the Phantom up now. Backs away, looks like widely. RQ ready and willing to concede this round. It's not going to go enough.
this is
That's going to
good.
send them out in towards
Woo!
Jimkin, so we'll be able to find those kills.
Lumayan ya,
Gonna
dapat
give
2 itu
as
ya.
much value as they possibly can, as much hurt put on the Team Secret, but the round will be theirs all the same.
I mean, well played with what they had for RQ, right? Obviously, the round had already crossed the line way long ago. But Estrella constantly putting pressure on. Doesn't get spotted by any of the utility. Doesn't go for the aggressive peeks off of the utility. And that forces them to decide, okay, we got to go somewhere else. These guys are set up outside of B main. Couple extra kills here for Jemkin. He's got that showstopper online now for round 4. And I mean, sure, seems great. They'll take whatever they can, and Jesse trying to get the team a little bit more energized. But
Still-
for now,
Still feels a bit rough, a bit forced.
exactly. On RQ they're in good position to try to take back control of this first half. Try to keep that
Ini
lead.
kalau lihat Trash pakai Judge sih udah kejang-kejang sih guys. Kejang-kejang gak sih?
Patiently here.
Kalau Res udah bawa Judge ini.
Somewhat long gone are the days of the aggressive rush, but
Wah, untung ya.
trying to do that. Side had that judge in hand. Showstopper not going to find much. NDG get out in front of that one. Does catch Xfero off guard top ramp.
Kelas.
Continuing to try to hold the line.
Jenkin.
Try to further delay.
Satu lagi nggak sih? Aduh.
He gets in front of that one. Finds himself a 3rd elimination. The neural depth now invested. Sends that out. Gets the ping
Nggak mau
reveal here.
kepala,
on
Jake.
the 2 remaining players, but everybody low HP. Not even a single 100 HP bar between the 3 remaining players on Secret, but in with a chance to tie things up at 2-2.
Kayaknya Res yang ngeri tuh cuma si Ray 4C deh.
Now having to be pushed
Kalau
out,
udah
they
bawa
decide
Judge
just
tuh
to
ngeri deh,
ignore it.
Cok.
The
Sama
Nightfall,
siapa ya?
they're aware of the location.
PRX. Dulu ada PRX siapa ya? Gue liat juga. Yang Nix-nya siapa? Jinx ya kalau nggak salah. Mereka kalau main Res udah kayak orang gila anjing bawa Judge-nya.
Drop down, hears it, swings it, gets it, NDG with the ace. To get Secret tied up at 2-2.
An incredible ace from NDG. First of all, gets past, all the way up through a ramp, despite the showstopper coming out. They take out the cam, and they're already 1 person ahead of it through the cyber cages. A great setup with the paranoia as well. That sets him up, goes past the paint shells, and he knows at this point he has to be the one opening the site. And just good positioning, good utility for post-plan as well.
Well, if you want to get
That goes there.
the rookie and the rest of the team jazzed up, that is certainly one way to do it. Huge round there from him. Xfero still holding on to his own neural theft. 2-man stack here in mid. Jimkin just staying tucked around the corner.
We'll catch them.
2 rifles here for RRQ.
Yeah, bit of a
Stinger, Sheriff, Ghost.
hard sell on that sound fake as well from Flip. So Team Secret still wary of it. Now, the real question is do they suspect Jemkin at any point? Or, you know, obviously they don't even have to press it, right? Of course, it's going to be a weaker buy from RRQ. Team Secret rightfully choosing that they don't want to take the risk, that they just, you know, you sense something fishy. It's just not worth it going into such a tight space like vents.
Yeah, even if, you know, they don't necessarily have to read that Jemkin's going to be tucked there in the vent itself, but it could still suspect that there's going to be presence in mail. Just don't want to try to push into that one. Pull off the camera there. This is Pharaoh just managing to dart across. Cam now going to be cleared out. So you will see the lion's share of Team Secret making their way forward here onto the side trap wire. Try to slow him up, and Borkham does get taken down. Nice headshots found, but Shadow not quite ready for that forward elbow pressure. Paint shells will not be able to deter the plant, so still does come through. Dash not eating too much damage. Estrella will fall on that swing out. That's one of the rifles now on the floor.
Yeah, and a good push out into screens as well, since they gave up full main control. Sure, the trip was there, but they didn't have heaven either. So Team Secret, instead of getting caught, having to cover too many angles, they decided to push out and eliminate portions of the site. Jeremy now taking the lead.
Pop flash, but Sheriff in hand. Bash down on the side itself had enough of an angle to go ahead and take out Elmi more. So stays on
Berat.
now will take the lead.
Now they have Rolling Thunder as well with the Showstopper, right? So it's another round where they can shut down the buy.
Ooh, a new turn special. Double blast pack into the push forward off the Rolling Thunder.
Man, that is some memories right there.
Back to 2021 Reykjavik.
Holy cow. I mean, if we see that, I give all the props to Secret.
Oh, sure. As long as he doesn't, as long as he gets some value out of it.
They're ready for it. It's definitely going to be an A hit, that's for sure. Clearing out close so that they can get set up. The breach trying to get in position afterwards. Showstopper's going to go forward.
Okay, and it will just be used to clear out Elmore there on the close angle. Rolling Thunder now not going to come into play as Jemkin swoops in. Top ramp, finding 2. Bash and NDG both going to be taken down. Man advantage down here for the side of RQ, but quickly equalized. Flip Shredder will fall moments before that neural theft does come in. They're on the prowler.
Alamak, apa itu Jake? Alamak.
Gets himself 3, and yeah, the rest of the team just not able to do anything here for RRQ. Team Secret now 4 rounds in a row. Drop the pistol, drop the eco, but since then it has been clean.
And you saw the chemistry right there as well. Off of the prowler, they hear the drop. It's just that double swing out.
Lagi di blend aja tahu deh, Cok. Nembak kemana?
High low setup still for the crouch as well on Envy. And Jeremy looks a lot more confident. He seems to be taking things by the rein here on split for the attacking side.
Marah nih.
Perhaps just a little bit of that extra warm-up that they needed on Breeze, and they're able to strike back on RQ's pick. A split, even
Marah guys, tim lagi marah nih. Tembak dulu nggak sih? Kasih kisi-kisi dulu nggak sih?
Or us expected for them to be in. Just given, I mean, Secret, the win percentage on split alone, not great, but this is also a map that they have not played a ton of. You know, aside from the newer maps such as Sunset and whatnot, this is one of their least played. I think it's like 17 times. This will be the 20th time all time that they played it. Team Secret has been an organization since the beginning of Valor.
True. Yeah, it goes way back. So obviously something they've avoided time and time again. And RQ perhaps trying to identify the weakness in that, and maybe suspecting that, you know, what are you going to do, right? The double duelist no longer an option. Obviously, we haven't seen it since NDG joined, and thinking that, okay, double duelist was kind of your go-to because you couldn't figure out what else you wanted to do with the meta. And now, what's going to be your option? But Team Secret, their own take, you know, on this aggressive setup. And of course, still a lot of trap play setup as well for the defense. So I like the flexibility. We'll see if RQ's figured out the answer.
Terus sekarang rank apa? Valorant. Gue nggak main lagi.
Quick little swing out from Flips. Gonna go unpunished, even though it was a fairly wide peak. Does manage to back away.
So one thing that we're noticing is RQ, even after the timeout and before it as well,
enak kalau bisa pas pos bisa
ini. Their reactions are always about trying to keep mid control, but also their utility setup and center on the sides of the map aren't exactly being respected just because there's so much pushing power from Team Secret.
Itu bukan pause, Cok. Itu time out sama pause tuh beda ya.
A bit more cautious post timeout.
Berapa B3?
Tidak.
Ya mantap itu bro. Wih, mantap nggak sih itu sih?
Envy and NDG now in the blink of an eye, going to be the last 2 players remaining.
Mantap gak sih itu? Pelan-pelan Pak, jangan dipus lagi Pak.
This round is very much gotten away from Team Secret.
So much patience from Xero in that. I mean, he was as close as you physically can get to that smoke. You saw the aura around it on his screen, cross it over to his weapon.
I don't think you're going to get that orb, Envy.
Megang op aja ditembak soal itu.
Just gonna have to hope to...
anything.
Smoke-nya habis. 3, 2, 1. Wajing.
We'll just end up falling. NDG, last one now alive.
Maju aja nggak sih? Tes siapa ini? Knock. Maju aja nggak sih? Hantam bro. Dapat 3 kepala sih.
Didn't see him.
Not sure who's happier about that situation, but I mean, RQ definitely could have tried to go for the ults, right? I mean, those are upgraded weapons, so maybe getting that ult online, but also all of them 1 point away is huge, and just the absolute patience. And then the Cyber Cage immediately afterwards to cover his escape. Meanwhile, his teammates are there, not getting hit by the other utility. A single-handed setup from the Cypher brings RQ back.
I mean, and look at the ult economy right now.
Ini kalau tim Secret kalah lagi, ini miskin banget mereka cok.
Used by Jesse in the last rounds, they got that out of him. To no avail. The pit, even Estrella's ult, nearly built up here for
NDG
RQ.
bukan NOG bang. Oh, emang NDG tuh.
Once again, mid control as well. This time the Trips trying to help
Iya,
cover
Cok.
ramp. On top of it,
Ya, maaf
that
dah.
toxic screen again hasn't been respected too much. Obviously, it still finds its use on retakes, but you've got to be alive for that. So
Kan gue liatnya sekilas doang.
Flip's just going to force them back with that snake bite and Pete hoping and praying that he swings out a little bit wider. Instead, just off to play this a little bit more.
Flip jeder, nah dapat banyak sih flip jeder ini guys.
Smokes coming down.
Dapat banyak sih harusnya dia ya.
much more
Flip
utility
jeder
to
ini
hold on
ya.
to mid though, unless you rotate some people over, right? All snake bites are now gone.
Thinking about what he wants to go for. Jeremy trying to get the drop down here, but this, again, covering fire. Jimkin's there. He's there to protect. Showstopper out. Xero has already claimed that kill. And now the drop down. Knows that there's going to be one in there. Can't quite flush him out. Pushing the corner. Shots flying. Jesse Bash going to be taken down. Xero will be able to come away with that kill. Now Envy is all on his load.
Nice. Aduh.
To find out more despite the paranoia.
Nice.
Pushes back up on top of the rope. Jimkin.
Miskin sih. Secret ini miskin banget sih cok.
See who is going to be able to take the lead.
I mean, Flips is acting as some amazing bait. So many of these rounds, right?
Miskin
Obviously,
sih ini
sometimes
mereka
he gets
guys.
caught, but that's maybe second, third time now where he's been
Harusnya
able to
nggak bisa
draw
bye
them
ya.
and just be prepared for it this time with the help of Jemkin. Jemkin was sitting in vents that entire time until the aggression happened, and that's exactly what happened. They got baited for sure.
Nice, Jemkin's just playing bodyguard.
I mean, that's getting him 12 kills so far, so I'm sure he's happy to do it.
Yeah, hell of a glow up. It's very slow going. They didn't have to do as much on that jet in the past. But
Iki lu skin Moskov nomor berapa? Berapa? 19 ribuan ya kalau nggak salah.
Now the pit to control mid as well. We'll see. I mean, Team
Terus
Secret,
RQ
especially with the
bagus
weaponry
banget tim
now,
Susi.
and
Yang
not
ini
too
jelek,
much,
yang
right?
pas
Sure,
gue
you got the
foto
prowess,
shoot
but
tuh
not too
bagus
much to
banget
try to
cok.
break through that, so they're gonna have to find
Yang
other
ini
ways.
udah sekarang full orange gitu loh.
Xero, he was a great anchor.
Jadi kayak aneh.
Guardian of A-side on heaven.
Yang pas gue foto shoot itu bagus banget.
A lot of value just knowing that they haven't pushed up into ramps just yet. And NDG not getting as much with his camera right now.
There.
Jemkin at ramp has been big pain here for them. They got the spot on the one, but Envy spraying through. He does take an immense amount of damage. Manages to stay alive and get that opening kill here. Secret trying to get this.
Masa kalah sih Secretnya half buy loh ini.
Secret's gonna just stay in the site, right? Not much
Lihat tuh
weaponry.
pistolnya
They don't wanna
unyu-unyu
risk
cok.
pushing up through ramps.
They have this Nightfall. If they just send that over towards screens here, that could very much be a major deterrent against RQ. Snake bite down. Envy, yeah, he's so far in front of this one. Swing in. That's going to be Envy taken out. Jemkin able to find that kill. Going out wide. Jemkin gone. NDG flushed out.
Masa kalah,
Jeremy
Cok?
still, however, delivering. Finds himself. Gets himself for 41 HP. He holds on as Secret will be able to get the round victory.
And NDG, even though he's not able to clean up the kills, the fact that he peeks out and draws across there 2 people completely
Rereki,
ruins
what the
the
fuck?
arc you had Arky thought they had Team Secret absolutely trapped. All they had to do was spray and pray.
Anjing tinggal 5 coy HP-nya.
That draws away some of the backup, and that allows Jeremy to catch the picks. I mean, look at him moving, weaving back and forth around the map.
Investment.
I mean, it's actually it's a fun contrast, Jeremy versus Jemkin, right? The reactions are somewhat similar, but also very different.
Oh, it's great. Jemkin though, deep push, flash out. Jeremy full blind. Elmore able to get that kill.
Nice, marah.
I mean, it is just a slaughter in mid.
Marah. Ini marah sih,
The
Cok.
call from RRQ, just upping the pace, upping that presence in mid. Spikes now down, and they know exactly where NDG is.
Marah guys.
The vicinity. As they hear that util getting used.
I mean, you know, they only pushed out once so far in the first 9 rounds, and that was just Elmore. They're kind of expecting that was on their bonus. Then they just hold passively in mid for 6 more rounds, and then it's a triple stack. I mean, you always expect it to happen at least once on the defending half, but so far RQ's movement never led them to believe, and it was a good one, right? Crossfire already set up, the flashes in play as well. Good cover from each other, and Elmore picks up the triple.
Oh, well, it's 30 seconds to think about the next round for Team Secret. Start putting the game plan together.
I mean, listen, you already have the 5 rounds. It's not exactly a bad half so far. Sure.
Anything else from here is just a bit of a bonus.
Yes, exactly. And yes, you know, the competition, again, it has a lot of power that you can utilize to promote the attack here on Split, right? Kind of cover some of the weaknesses that the map offers. But again, if you have good reads against your opponents, the trap plays you can set up with the Breach and the Fade that pairs along with the Raze, even the Paranoia to boot as well. There is a lot of ways that Team Secret can regain control of the map on the defending half.
I think that kind of surprised me the most is that RQ are not really pursuing for this kill. They have an immense amount of money. They know that he already has the ult online, so I'm kind of surprised if they don't try to take that rifle out of his hands. But, I mean, this is just a fantastic crunch. This is everybody, you know, watching the corners that they need to be watching the angles that they need to keep tabs on. And it works a treat for RQ, so now in a position to maybe take the lead for themselves. Secret
Gak bahaya tah.
a little bit wonky once again. Stinger, Guardian. Looks like Jeremy just going to be playing with a Sheriff and a Showstopper.
You just got to watch out for that full send ultimate here on the side of RQ. See if they're prepared for it. Just going to trade the Snakebite for the Prowler, knowing that the weaponry is an advantage here. Flip's just going to try to set himself up. Bit of a miss on that Snakebite. He'll have to take a tick.
I wanted to bank that off the wall rather than an in towards mail, I believe. Let's just drift across that one. So repositions, and now we'll be keeping Secret guessing a bit.
Well, Secret, if they're able to take control of mid here, and then slow creep up with the Cyber Cages, the fault line, letting them know that Vent's been taken over. Now, no opposition. You sense that this is going to be a far back defense from RQ, but when does that Showstopper come out?
Okay, well, there's the boom bot. Bounce out onto the rafters, though. Jemkin, position for now, still masked.
Noise.
Ready, and there's the kill. Jemkin can't get away from it. So getting taken down, Jeremy. Knocked down
Kaget
by
nggak tuh?
HP, but still finding the
Wop!
still finding the kill. Borgum.
Masa kalah sama Stinger, bro?
Might have registered there. Ends up coming up with the elimination. Gives them now the man advantage. Be low on HP. The rest of the team healthy here for RQ as they try to make their exit. It's just a little bit too whippy though with the Sheriff shots. Some damage found, but kill gets traded back. 3v3 now.
This choke point. They will get topped up a little bit by Elmore.
There's the first challenge for Borkum. Good for him. NDG now going to be noted, but Borkum continues to hold there. That elbow swings back around the opposite side to get himself a 4K. Get Team Secret up to 6.
A big round, and RQ, I mean, I wasn't quite sure if Flips was maybe just trying to sell the idea of a fake that they went over to B, because they heard the boom bot come out from vents, so they knew there was presence from this Showstopper. But the cam not exactly seeing anyone actually enter into heaven, and maybe they thought it was already a rotate over, or the main forces were already set up on B. Whatever it was, Jemkin tries to get the pick, but the Showstopper's already out in the air.
Ngeri banget Omen dapat 4 itu.
Good. You know, kind of crosshair aggro there in the last bit, setting up Borkum for that 3rd kill.
Dapat 3.
Last round of the opening half here. RQ looked to try to tie this up 6-6, but 7-5 for Team Secret on the attacking open would still be incredibly strong from them. Especially considering that they're playing an unorthodox comp. See how they fare though. That Nightfall still available from Envy.
I mean, if they'll probably check main with contact here. Well, Guiding Light might have to change that a bit, but I was expecting they might just check ramp with contact and then use it to push out of screens once again. Now that they know that there's presence.
Quick clear on that Trailblazer. No way to spot anything. Is okay, Jeremy swinging the corner. Is able to find Jemkin. Trades that back. Elmi Moore hearing the rotations out. They put their weight forward into the site. Jeremy lands right there next to Estrella and is able to take him down. That's going to be lost at the same time though as Elmi Moore finds one. Jeremy back in, but it's that full flash from Elmi Moore top ramp. Three peaks. He's whittled away at now. Four dead, and that should just about be the close up here. Shiner.
Dolan 1, sabar gak sih?
He is now left all on his lonesome. Spike him, but as he turns back towards the site, Xmero will take his head off. 6-6 RQ. They do manage to keep it.
Sex ya guys, sex ya.
Team Secret, there was a
Good half. Sepertinya sih good half ya.
Sure, send the Nightfall.
Sex sih good half sih guys.
Because of the numbers, right? They didn't quite feel safe. They didn't have the spike planted just yet. So they want to take advantage of the fact that, okay, they don't have audio. They're on decay. Let's push back out and kind of clean up the surrounding area. Unfortunately for them,
Good half. Sepertinya.
Nightfall. He's able to use a Guiding Light to buy time. Of course, he doesn't get the immediate trade because he flashes himself a little bit on that swing. But it's enough to draw out even more of Team Secret away from the site. That gives space back onto screens. Now it's tied 6-6. Of course, again, considering split overall, sure, Secret gonna be okay with that. A pretty solid scoreline.
I mean, again, I wasn't expecting this comp. I wasn't expecting the game to be this close at the moment. So I think that this is still positive trends right now for the side of Team Secret. It's just a matter of whether or not they can get over that finish line. Because again, they have not gotten a win on this map since they played against Paper X week 2 of last season before something had joined the team.
Yeah, where Jesse Vash gets that knife kill with the Cypher. That was a long time ago.
Even then, you know, since then, I think they've maybe only played it 4 times.
Yeah,
most recently, you know, was versus Zeta in the LCQ.
Which, I mean, we saw, right, from the stats of RQ's win record so far. Even LCQ was a while ago.
Split susah main OP, banyak patahan.
So Team Secret trying to turn a new page here in 2024. And so far, I mean, I'm liking the comp and the idea. We'll see.
Tapi bukannya kalau banyak patahan tuh lebih enak sniper ya. Jadi banyak pick point-nya gitu. Enggak ya?
Yeah, don't have that double control. You don't have that Viper to really try to slow up the other side of the map. Curious to see what this approach ends up looking like. It's a couple straight shots out. Jemkin needs a little bit of damage.
Yang menang pistoran ini menang gamenya guys. Iya nggak sih? Yang menang pistoran ini.
Yeah, that camera staying alive, the trip staying alive, all of that is a lot of information for Secret. They already have main control as well, and again, this is what you gotta do, right? You gotta be a little proactive. Jemkin.
So the paint shell to create some space here for himself. Only more in the meantime, rushing forward, just ready to charge through that cage. Not still in a fully committed position, still just lingering right here around mid. Do draw some additional attention over with Jesse Vash now running back through the spawn. Paint shell will clear out Mail. That's going to make Secret a lot more confident this does end up going towards A. Only more drop down and be able to find that kill. So now NDG just running and gun and comes up with the goods. Elimination found. Jemkin here at L1 spot. Right click will finish him off. No HP bars though. It's okay. That's Xmero dead, and that's a
Dolan 3. Let's go. Dolan 2. Kasih tahu. Split jeder dan siapa ini? Jemkin. Kasih tahu nggak sih? Mantap boleh sih. Pak gitu.
Now watching back in for this one though. The wall comes up. Yeah, he's just gonna get shot from behind. Jeremy with a headshot, able to find it, and it's just
waduh, gimana ini Jack? Ya.
That's gonna be another pistol round going the way of Team Secret.
Splitting 1-1 on the pistol so far on both maps.
Emang enak, cuma kalau Dictor bisa di counter pakai utility. Yes, utilities.
I love how they played the map though, right? They drawed a lot of the util. They drew the fault line a second time. But at the end of the day, they just can't get into the site. It's going to be Envy and NDG bugging them up, gunking up the entry from heaven. They'll take a little too much of their casualties.
Like just gonna be heavy stack and push here. Oh my
Wait.
god. Jemkin and Estrella taking quite a bit of damage there. Heal's not available anymore. Does not have those purchases coming into this round, so they can't try to fix any of that. Jeremy will be able to find one before getting taken out by Jemkin. Classic claims him, but that's gonna be a judge picked up. The HP bars continue to suffer as Xfero as well now whittled away at down to 56.
Yeah, if Jemkin had full health, sure, you can try to blast back with the judge, but right now things look a little dire.
Vash playing at stairs, sends out a flash to try to slow them up, but ultimately doesn't want to overstay. Take back around towards Ellie's side, get himself maybe pushed up onto the side. Looks like he's going to play this one out patiently, wait for the approach to come in as the fault line now goes across. Swings out, finds one, Morcom as well. Down to Estrella. Smash will find a second.
Waduh, berat kan aku bilang kan anjing yang menang Pistoron ini kayak bakal menang deh guys.
Just one casualty here on the side of Team Secret as they now move up 8-6.
And a really good setup there on the double team.
Susah nggak sih?
Jesse Vash and Morcom, right? Once Jesse Vash is back in position to help with the trades and the crossfire, you send the paranoia out to buy time as soon as you get an inkling, and then you're hiding, making them think that they can swarm you. Jesse Vash is there, immediately capitalizes on.
Bahaya nggak sih ini? Bahaya nggak sih? Nggak bahaya tak ini kita?
Clean and set up with better weaponry.
Nggak bahaya tak ini
So
tak?
while once again RQ they do what they can to make sure they have a numbers advantage, the weaponry, etc., the utility, all in favor of Secret. So far, we're seeing the positives of this comp. They're playing it to perfection, taking over this aggressive space, basically denying any use and value of that toxic screen.
Robbing that away from him. Judge now positioned right in front here. They'll clear that out at range, but Flip Shutter, yeah, with a quick little peek in, does manage to find Morcom.
Nggak bahaya tak ini tak?
Judge around the corner, but it also looks like widely RQ have very little interest in playing in towards Garage. Just for the time being.
Skor sampai berapa? 13.
Remaining on the side of Team Secret though. And that trip, they want to send them to B, right? They want to let them know we pushed out of A.
Ada sih kalau ketemu tim Secret sama PRS kayak ketemu counter alami kalau gue ikutin dari dulu. Gameplaynya emang selalu ngonter. Oh. Tapi PRX bukannya tier 1 ya kalau di CE ya. PRX sudah paling GG kan ya? Dari tim-tim CE itu. Susanto Blood. Susanto Blood emang gila cok, Susanto Blood.
Some drift across, tries to get the jump, gets the headshot in. Xfero going to be taken down. Now the 1v2. Sets the interrupt on the play, but they're running out of time. Haunt cleared. Jemkin out into the open. Caught with the blast pack.
1v1, let's go. Let's go. Anjing itu tim Secret ya. Bodoh. Maaf, like, gue kira RRQ yang menang guys, ternyata tim Secret cok. Aduh, nggak apa-apa guys.
Everything to lead him one step closer to that clutch win, to that Red Bull clutch. Right,
Ini cuma RRQ kayak DRX bisa ngasih perlawanan knock bantai habis. Oh. Maaf, like guys.
I mean, yeah, you gotta shout.
Impostor, maaf dah.
He knows he's low, and then the C's immediately after, because now you have to stick the plan. All of it to perfection. Keeps the lead here in the second half. Gets that bonus for them. Showstopper online
Itu
as
di
well.
clutch cok, 1 lawan 3.
On both sides, but it's full armor for everyone on Team Secret.
Masa ya gue nggak bilang nice cok? Nice itu. 1 lawan 3 jing.
A little bit of space there in Garage, not wanting to concede it. Will immediately drift away.
1 lawan 3 cok, bisa kalah guys. Kayak mana?
Flips continues to lurk forward. Jeremy though.
Nggak mau sabar gitu loh.
A little bit of an off angle.
Sabar gitu, bantu belakang, saling bantu gitu.
Apparently all in position.
Nggak mau sabar guys, kayak mau adu mekanik semua cok. Mana tim playnya bro? Kita butuh tim play di sini ya, bukan adu mekanik di sini.
Whether it's to A or B, that remains to be seen. But it looks like they just want to pressure them there. Expect that they've weakened the site now.
Bob,
This is all bait.
Pain, no hole. Oke, buta. Nembak kasih. Aduh. Padahal udah ngeliat itu dia.
Quite read where he was. He gets himself a second kill before getting taken down. Now Borkum holding things firmly on the site. But back out MDG. Sparrow just not.
Kayaknya satu sama dah guys. Oh ya anjing itu kena.
And things are really starting to slip. RRQ not in control at all here in this second half.
Bodo amat lah katanya. Blend sendiri aja dah gua. Bodo amat. Makan nih burung.
And he's gotten away with it a couple times, but when push comes to shove, I mean, first of all, that was going to be a hard round no matter what to clutch, but it's just
Udah frustasi dia, Cok. Anjing.
They're happening when you're getting pressured, even if it's not an impossible clutch situation, right?
Frustasi.
They're likely to come up. So I was full expecting the timeout because a lot of panic starting to show, and probably something that Coach Iwa is going to need to talk about is
Frustasi udah itu.
They might not have any idea
Capek
what's
banget
going
gua.
wrong. Quite frankly, they feel like they're taking the control of spaces.
Tim gua nggak guna, Cok.
You're able to push them out of main. Now that you've identified that they push early, they get early control of main and garage on B.
Capek banget udah
Push them
kayaknya
out
itu
of
deh,
there.
guys.
You have that control. You clear mid again. You have vents control. What is going wrong? We tied them up in ramps. What in the world is going wrong? And that's something that Coach Iwa is going to have to talk about. One of it is, of course, you're not drawing out all of the
Capek
important
banget kayaknya
util.
hidup
You
dia
draw
itu.
out a fault line, sure, but then there's still a seize, still a prowler, another haunt, another paranoia. There's just a lot in the bank that can be used at various ranges that they'll have to account for.
This goes here.
I mean, it's just in every single metric right now that Secret have control. Ult economy very much in their favor as well as that Nightfall.
Capek banget kayaknya dia udah itu, guys.
After the clutch.
Oh bodo amat katanya. Buta dah gua sendiri.
Showstopper, Neural Theft, both ready to go.
Capek deh kayaknya itu. Capek. Dia nggak mau gue tahu maksud dia sih guys. Dia ngeblend dia sendiri biar dia nggak mau ngeliat kenyataan gitu, Cok. Gue ngerti sih, paham sih maksud dia sih, paham sih. Capek dia, paham gua, paham. Aman aja, aman. Paham gua, paham.
Jesse just basically about to just full util dump everything that he had, and does so.
Melihat kenyataan itu emang kejam guys. Aduh. Nice, dapat 2. Tuh kan gak ada backupnya, Cok. Backupnya mana nih, Rereki? Aduh.
Knocked down about 51 HP. But jump up, Jemkin trying to open things up a little bit more, trying to find that catch, but Jesse Vash manages to stand his ground. Shadow in the meantime creeping forward, trying to get his way
Backupnya kurang
over
cepet
onto the
ini.
site. MDG not necessarily reading this at the moment, but also not really in a position where he's going to get caught whatsoever.
Kurang pas hang mereka, kurang pas hang ya.
And there you go. Finally substitutes it out.
Kurang pas hang mereka, guys.
Good. Just Envy lost in the fight. Team Secret now up to 11.
Kayak ini, gua komentar juga kayak iya aja, Cok.
Going into a second half.
Kayak ngerti main aja deh ini momen-momennya. Gak apa-apa guys, yang penting bacot nomor 1 ya. Karena bacot itu adalah seni guys. Tapi kalau disuruh buy one, wah ketar-ketir gitu. Bacot nomor 1 ya, skill nomor 2, gak apa-apa guys.
They always have kind of the ones that don't refresh, like the paranoia. It's always in their back pocket.
So much util to spread out across these next 2 rounds.
Kayaknya satu sama sih ini guys. Berat sih. Belum dapat turun sama sekali, Cok, RRQ ini. Buset. Kayak personal gini ya mereka mainnya ya.
Things are looking rough. The only thing they can hope for is Xfero on the lurk, but he doesn't exactly have control of the site just yet.
Creeping their way over now towards this A site. Trap wires still there, still not dealt with. Trailblazer could try to spot him out, but just a couple shots in. That's more down to 5 HP. He didn't even have the reveal on him. Just heard them moving forward. Trailblazer now trying to spot things out. They have identified that NDG is going to be back screen, but displacing him is still going to be a completely different task. Bash now arriving up in heaven. We'll be able to find the final 2 of the round. Is Secret looking absolutely dominant here on Split.
A great showing. And
Masalahnya ini mapnya RRQ, Cok. RRQ yang pick map ini.
And they're using it so well, right? It's not just that they're
Mereka
fragging
kalah.
out, but the way they're chaining their utility, the way
Kalahnya
they're
terbantai
understanding how
lagi.
to create space, how to take space, the way that they understand.
Udah dapat
On
roncok
defense,
dari
we're gonna have to
tadi.
push out on the early rounds to take control
Sedih
of a
banget
portion
ya.
of the map. I mean, all of it clearly shows us that this is not a result of, we don't know what else works, let's try this one. This is a result of a goal was met during the scrims. We came in with an idea, and it's time to show RRQ what it tastes like.
Can they hold on? Feels like 6 rounds in a row. Even though Secret have done just that. Right now for RQ, feels like an impossible task.
I mean, look at the ults as well, right? Both Nightfall and Rolling Thunder online. These Seekers aren't going to mean too much.
Envy fishing around. Sparrow does get tagged up a little bit as Envy will be able to get the catch. Jemkin taken down, but not before NDG does fall. Util now taken away. Shock will force flips away for a brief little moment, and Envy swinging back around on the side itself is able to find Sparrow and keep them very much in a winnable position. They look to close out this map. Flips about to be jumped here from behind. Fault line set. Finds one. Pulls off the angle, but does he realize that he's being hunted? 2 more players behind him. It's Borkum now.
Oh, this is a cheeky spot.
First line of defense. Here's the rope. Swings under the corner. Gets one. They can't calm it fast enough.
Gila.
Borkum. He will be the
Buset
closer.
dah.
Kills for him as Secret run
Roto
away
jejek.
with the map here on Split. 13-6. Absolute.
Terbantai lahir dan batin ini, bro.
RQ looks good on Breeze, but you can't count out Secret. They came in prepared, and quite frankly,
Gak dikasih
again,
main, Cok,
both
RRQ.
teams with some changes here, both in terms of kind of who's playing what agents, the compositions, things like that. So this is a fresh slate. So it's not even really the story about, well, Secret does well in the rematches. They come in prepared when they can ante. It wasn't about that. It was
Itu malah
more
beli
so
skin dia,
about
Cok.
the fact that Secret had full confidence in
Malah
what
beli
they had
skin
to
dia.
Well, we have a 3-map series here on our hands, but first, we'll go ahead and pass this back over.
Malah
to
beli skin dia. Woi, sana meeting. Sana balik meeting, Cok. Malah beli skin dia.
Team Secret said nope and took RRQ's map pick from them of Split.
Yeah, it's my job to say nope to
Yeah.
people, like keep them off the elevator.
nope.
But, but
Meeting review gamenya dia. Aduh, malah beli skin dia.
Their attacker side looked really good overall. Kind of similar ideas I thought to what we saw.
Aku dapat
in
hadiah
Breeze.
member.
A lot of
Mergina
mid-pressure.
aja.
In that last round,
Kamu dapat dari mana
second to
itu?
last round of the first half, RQ found a way to deal with that, where there was a showstopper available for Jeremy. They get ahead of it. That was good, but then they get over to the defender side, and Team Secret just ran them over. I mean, it was crazy how strong they looked.
Yeah, it was pretty beautiful. I mean, the defenses they had on the
Kapan
top
ya
of
lihat
the
RRQ
A
follow
was just
gacor.
like, there was just no getting in for the side of
Susah
RRQ.
sih.
It was like had every angle covered, and then on the opposite side, it just felt like the entries from the side of
Susah
RRQ
sih,
weren't
FPS
that
tuh
great.
game berat,
So,
guys.
kind of falling apart there was 6-6 half, but just the flawless one side was just too much for them to handle.
I think there were some little warning signs early on, Valdez, when you pointed out, too, when we saw the kill count, and it was a little bit too heavily skewed towards Jemkin and Elmi Moore very early on.
Yeah, I mean, the other 3 players had 2 kills apiece, and it was 12 and 11, respectfully, for those other 2
Semangat
players.
aja dah.
Definitely felt like there was a little bit of carrying going on even from the beginning, and then once they got to attackers, it was just kind of lights out for them. They had a decent amount of first kills, but look at the post plants, 0 out of 1. Like, they didn't have post plants.
Well, that just goes to what you're talking about, right? Like, just doing such a good job of controlling the pressure points on this map, not giving them the opportunity to get there.
Yeah.
Really popping off here. Borkum had a great game. So some of the players who were, well, Borkum had a good breeze, but Envy in particular, who did not have a good breeze, showing up much more here on the fade. This double initiator really worked to treat, especially on the defender side and the attacker side. To be honest, the 6-6 attacker side is quite good. Honestly, you'll take that most of the time. So really, everybody stepping up big time. Yeah, Jesse may not put up huge numbers, but the breach util does a lot for delay. They did a great job. One thing that I really noticed with Team Secret, especially on their attacker side, was the way that they cycled their ults. They were staggering them. They were only using one at a time. Like, you know, the casters were talking about it. You could see when you have the the Rolling Thunder and the Showstopper available at the same time. You could, launch the Rays with the Rolling Thunder. They were just like, we're just going to use one or the other and then save the other one for the next round, then do that. So really smart game planning here from Team Secret.
I do like how Jeremy, stepped up. He wasn't looking on his best form the other day. So and honestly the last map. So seeing him on this map, it's starting to feel more comfortable. I mean, when you're on the Rays flying through Split, you need to be confident with every decision that you make.
Yeah, it was kind of funny too because this map started off with RQ. They won the pistol. I think it was a 4K from Jemkin, just like lining them up. It was crazy. And then for some reason after that, it was it was very even in the first half. Obviously, it kind of went back and forth, but we had an ace from NDG who was looking pretty good, and there were some nice comeback moments for Team Secret, kept it close, and then really, it just felt like a totally different map once we changed sides.
But you could see some of the ideas, like with this double initiator comp, it puts this kind of pressure on you as RRQ to have to worry about being caught by it, getting tethered, because it's a lot easier on Split sometimes to kind of track those angles and deal with that. And then even, throwing in the judge in there for Jeremy, catching them right outside of B main. Just everything so well thought out with this composition for Team Secret. So, we talked about earlier today that it's hard to come into this stage and know what teams are going to do, what maps are prepared, what agent picks are prepared. And now we're seeing that, finally a team is come in, cooked something, and it's actually come out well done.
I like the whole cooking process there that you got. I really just enjoyed that.
I'm
That
definitely
sounded
a chef.
delicious. He's not just a celebrator guy, he's also a chef. Does this change your predictions at any point? I know, again, infamous flip-flopper here, just in case with how things going.
Yeah, I'm infamous for a reason. I do kind of feel, before we started this segment, I'm like, maybe
Monyet
Team
bukannya di
Secret's
PRX
game
ya?
is actually, going in Icebox, I think they should be pretty comfortable, and RQ did look kind of flat in that second half. I think that was mostly just because Team Secret playing so well, and they really shut the door on them. So as long as Team Secret keep up this level of play, there is a pretty good chance they go into this map of Icebox and take it. So I'm not going to change my pred. I've turned a new leaf for the new year.
New year,
I'm
new
gonna stick
you.
with RRQ. We'll see what happens. But yeah, I'm not. I'm willing to say that there is a pretty good chance that Team Secret take this anyway.
Very happy with the Gross and Valdez. Definitely, no more flip-flopping. I'm going to stick with RQ, but I think it's going to be really darn close on Icebox. Obviously, seeing it from both of these teams earlier this year, both of them had to play Gen.G on it. They both pushed them basically to the limit. There was the overtime, right, with Team Secret. RQ got close to the overtime, so I don't know. I still think RRQ probably has a little bit more firepower and those kind of things. That's where I'm going to lean. I'm going to stay with RRQ.
Okay. I will share my thoughts on that after we address the guess in game poll result. The question was, who's going to Thrifty first on map 2? And because there was no Thrifty, both of them managed their economies actually really well. Nothing happens. We stay in gold. Forever gold.
Yeah.
Pony boy.
I should have bet on no Thrifties. Yeah. I wish I could have bet on no Thrifties.
Yeah.
I was denied.
I know.
I think
you
all
did
of us
say
would have bet on that though. It's
Yeah,
not
right?
very common that you see a thrifty, right? So.
we did have record of you saying that, so I think mentally we know. In terms of how this is gonna go for Icebox, it can go both ways, especially with performance like this coming from both of these guys. I think if it was because it's a 1-1 score, I know how strong Secret can be on Icebox, so I'm actually now completely up in the air, but I will stick to my prediction because it's a new year, like Felda said.
Turn a new leaf. Yeah.
We're just gonna we're gonna commit.
So proud of the girls.
A year commitment.
So proud.
Yes. So here, Jeremy and Jemkin, I'm again, both of them performed phenomenally, but Jemkin just couldn't be the only person killing everyone.
Yeah, it comes down to, I think, the defense we've talked about a lot on that second map, but it just feels like everybody's pulling their weight on the side of Team Secret, whereas even in the beginning of the map for RQ, it just felt like kind of a two-man show from Jemkin and Xfero, and the rest of the guys eventually caught up, but yeah, it just felt like a better team performance from the side of Team Secret, so... And the fact that Jeremy also hit 333 ACS is pretty good, on top of everybody else performing really well, like a 31% FB percentage as well, so... Yeah, I I think they've got the hot hands right now, and I think this is going to be a very close match. Wouldn't even be surprised if we go to like overtime or something like that on Icebox.
Absolutely.
I think we're going to overtime.
Yeah.
Yeah. That is very highly likely. We are going to go to our agent picks now for the third and final map of this first series of today between Team Secret and RRQ.
I was going to say, Jesse's playing Sova, I can tell you that right now. Like, before that even came up, 100%. But, okay, Envy going to be on that KO. You're seeing teams kind of lean into this a little bit more with that extra space on B. It's a little easier to flash behind yellow and things like that. So teams are going into it. But then RRQ going with more of what we're seeing globally on this map with the Gecko, some kind of double initiator. But it is the Sova, so you're seeing this kind of interchanged. It's either that or the KO usually. And it is going to be, interestingly enough, the Sova that RQ is going to go with. But I think this has been kind of a story of, you know, who's been able to sort of have their full team come into the map and play their best. And saw it on Breeze with RQ, Team Secret on Split. Statistically, this should be very close.
Yeah, historically, even since last year, both these teams have kind of been neck and neck every step of the way throughout Pacific. So we really don't know what the outcome of this is. Going to be a very exciting third and final map. And to take us through it, we have our casters, Achilleos and William.
Thank you very much. Yes, let's go into the action. Icebox to see who is going to be walking away with the win with that crucial championship point. Both teams have put up some strong performances on this map back at kickoff. RQ playing it twice versus Gen G.
Yep.
10-13 score lines both times.
Yes, exactly. Getting very close to that overtime and potentially the win, but never quite. They didn't really have what it took to just keep up the round-to-round.
Last match ya ini guys.
We'll see if that's a different story here. Of course, Team Secret,
Map
they were
terakhir
playing
nih,
the
map
Sage
terakhir
back
nih di
then. They
Breeze
were
nih.
experimenting with it. Now back to the KO for Envy, and honestly, Envy's KO on Icebox, it's one of the best highlights we've had through and through for Team Secret, all for the first season of Pacific last year.
Really shocked right out as, ooh, Jimkin, okay. But a wonky timing there. Ups off the angle moments before he would have had the lineup. Doesn't get punished for it, though. Just be drifting away and actually getting himself very much situated in mid. I mean, quite spotting out quite a many few people. It's widely the site conceded here by RRQ, looking to just play a full retake. As Team Secret themselves amassed here. Dart's going in, not going to find the connection there, but Jemkin able to find two. Envy and Jeremy both going to be taken down there by that Sheriff that gets traded back as Borkham and Jesse Vash get one apiece. Only more playing out at screen, seeing that Sova. Actually, with the help of Helms, we'll be able to just go ahead and flush him out, so it does get that elimination.
Moore's quite low, but gonna support with the dart for the time being. They know the site itself has been cleared out, but you gotta clear out all the opponents if you wanna stick the defuse.
The second headshot from NDG is monstrous, and now it is all LB Moore up on the ropes, 9 HP. He is not ready for the forward positioning, and NDG will get Team Secret another pistol round win, 3-2 across the set now.
Great mid-rounding from both teams. Team Secret, they get the initial contact, they recognize that the Jet has given up pipe, so they immediately press the issue, trying to push forward as a death ball. Now, meanwhile, RRQ, they're not able to stick with it anymore, but just so they can bring flips back over from B side, they decide to group and cover mid.
Loh, kalah lagi pistol roundnya.
At least put pressure on it, and initially it looked like it was going to work
Icebox
out,
ya
but
ini
the
ya.
plant goes down. And then good position.
Game apa ini bang? Valorant bang?
That they hold everyone at screens. Jesse Vash going over to the rafters. That was the big difference maker.
Yep, just
Pistolnya kalah terus, cok.
zero investment for the most part here for the side of RQ as Jemkin does push his way out of tube.
Here.
Dashes, oh, back, still takes a couple shots. Jeremy knocking him down to 38.
Got the outlaw for Jesse Vash as well, so everybody in dire danger here to both the Guardians and the outlaw. Of course, buys across the board for Secret.
Bahaya nih guys, kalau pistolnya kalah terus guys.
For all the future rounds. And that's also kind of why they're playing a little cautiously, right? You can't just have someone on an aggressive lurk just with a pistol, anything like that. You want to be able to stick as 5, as many of these weapons going forward.
Recon at the ready. More waiting patiently.
The timing of this will be so crucial.
See if he gets anything at all, any kind of inkling that they're moving forward. Catches a good timing on this one. Okay, drone over the top.
30 seconds left.
No delay, does get darted there. It's push into the corner, into the instant headshot there on an X-Barrel Flips. Able to find two. Three on the reload, those can't quite find a third, but Jemkin with covering fire will be able to take him down. So already, very bloody here. Secret suffering more losses than they certainly would like to have on this approach. Can they find more? Push up back. Take him down, gets both kills collected. Be a Guardian and a Bulldog held onto. Maybe swap out for different guns. The ping's down, but NDG can't get
Main follow juga emang Bang main, masa nggak main.
Decent damage dealt, but still a 2-0 start for Team Secret.
Yeah, I mean, just because it was buys across the board, it's going to be a little costly, like you said. And while the recon bolt was delayed thanks to the drone, they just aren't able to check 4 flips, right? A little too distracted by Elmimar in the back. And so a lot of damage done. Now, we saw initially, considering a couple half armors here and there, but eventually everyone will buy down to the full armor. They'll give up 1 piece of utility each to make sure that happens, recognizing that the Outlaw is still a threat on the other side from Team Secret.
Jeremy just checking, watching over there. Pipes to see if anybody's going to poke their head out. Meantime, double push up. Jesse Vash, Borkum investigating over towards B. See if they can spot anything out. Nothing seen. We'll just go ahead and back away.
Yeah, but this alarm bot's getting so much value for RQ as well, right? Able to just deny Kitchen, now the turret as well, so relatively safe in mid. Now they won't spot anything with the drone.
I saw his shoulder just a bit there.
Yeah, just a tag right at the end. Now, of course, they're also still holding on to green. You've still got that one way, so no reason to over-rotate from RQ. But the question is can you hold on to the site? Because if the execute's good, it's a bit of a pain here on A.
Not wanting to reveal his position as Cesat allows for that knife to go off as DG able to find one, gets traded out. Sparrow comes up with 2. Jemkin now presence noted. Jeremy gone, and it's going to be swift here from the side of RQ, just losing out on Elmimar, as they will go ahead and get themselves online.
And that decision not to shoot out the zero point, that made the difference, right? Not able to spot out Jemkin for his teammates. Flips got flashed, and then of course dashed on right from Jeremy, but Jemkin still there to cover all angles from above like a hawk in the sky. Buys enough time for Xfero as well with the crossfire. And the energy's coming back
easy
up.
guys, anjay so easy banget gak tuh.
Well.
Easy banget kayaknya.
Easy
Easy banget tuh katanya itu. Kelihatannya sih easy sih.
He's used 2 so far and gotten kills off both of them. Got the ping there on the Jemkin, but given that it's the Jet,
Ini mapnya nih banyak yang di remap ya.
Hasn't used it yet, so we'll see if it gets used at all this round. But they get spotted immediately, like you mentioned, so that means they have to give up pipes control. So no reason to try to push out for even more info. Trying to just hide the position of all teammates, just keep Team Secret guessing. They still got that alarm bot once again in mid, covering both parts around tube with the turret.
Not fully committed here. Double creep up. Pushing their way now towards yellow. Like what they're seeing over here on this side of the map, they might just be able to rotate back around. It looks like that's going to be the call coming in from Jesse Vash. I'm suspecting that the Viper's going to be alone, but quick to replace here is Xfero. Gets himself shifted over, and it looks like they're going to leave Jeremy in a forward position over on this A site. See if he can come up with any kind of backstab. A little bit of damage there. Otherwise, spike now planted.
Oh, so well set up for Jeremy.
That turret obviously not going to spot him either. Just going to go creeping across, work his way. I mean, he can go Snowman, he can go Kitchen, whichever way he decides. But first, it looks like he may just come across. Jemkin, yep, he does. Takes him down. And now this is such deep control here for the side of Team Secret. But DG does end up falling.
Yeah, he goes above the grading as well.
The fuse held to half. Hunter's Fury across from Jesse Vash. Looking for the tag, managing to find 2.
No.
Would have gotten LB more, but Envy takes him down just a little bit faster. Flip Shadow now on his lonesome, 24 HP. Not worth trying to play through this one, just has to hold on to the weapon. Will rotate out. See if Jeremy can get the catches. He's ready to swing his way in. Flip's thinking better about it. Not wanting to give him that line of sight, just stay tucked away. He'll hold on to the weapon, but Team Secret will continue moving up.
Yeah, ever so necessary save there from the rifle, just so you can make sure that you have some semblance of a stable economy, or at least a hope for one. Now, Straya trying to abuse the kind of tip of that toxic screen against his opponents. He'll get the 1 kill, of course, the trade. But what was really smart from Team Secret is it's not an immediate over-rotate. They still use utility to tie them up in A, and then they still leave the lurk. That gives them that option that you will get the flank, right? I mean, Jeremy was able to move immediately as soon as the spike goes down, because that's when RQ starts sprinting over. Just a kind of multi-step plan. And now he's online once again here in Icebox.
Certainly feeling it. Was lacking a bit
Ini
on
Jeremy ini ngeri banget cok aimnya.
looking very much reinvigorated on split, but now Jeremy is kicking things off gorgeously here for the team. Flipshider looking forward, trying to avoid that drone, does eventually get tagged, but before he finds the kill onto Borkum, he's still in a very rough position potentially, but Sparrow finding one, Infi gonna be taken down.
Jeremy udah entry sih dia.
Now trying to peel away, but
Kalah nggak tuh. Oke,
okay,
Jeremy-nya mati. Let's go. 3 lawan 1 ya. Nice. Very good, very well.
So far, it's been A site every single time. Sure, I mean, they eventually rotated over to B, but it's been the A pressure every single time, and they don't stop at pipes. They will always try to get some form of control right up to the site. Now, I like what Team Secret's doing, right? They're denying pipes control. That's great. But at a certain point, perhaps, you know, maybe after this round, start to kind of slow things down, maybe gain a little bit of mid, maybe a little bit of green control. You don't have to commit to it, but you got to put pressure.
Get out of my way.
Knives pulled, looks like pressure looking to be applied. As first it will just be the clear out there on the turret. Jeremy drops down off the top of tube. Start in position. They're in kitchen, not really wanting to peek out, but you know, we'll get the mark. Note that the jet is going to be rotating away from tube. RQ can breathe a little bit more easily in regards to mid now, but it's A that's getting ready to receive an immense amount of pressure. Flipshider set up here. By screens, all of his util still online, decides to pull back even more. And that movement right there could have very well saved his life.
I like it. It's a good timer right in the back of his mind because he's got that thrash. They already emptied the site anyway for a retake.
Spike planted.
But clear. Dizzy gone. Thrash now coming in, hunting for a target. Borkum still playing forward on top. I noted that, just given the trajectory of that snake bite coming through. Flash and drone searching for a target. Flips does get noted by that. Borkum now repositions just in front of the plant, and Flips is not ready. He was coming back to try to get that Dizzy. Gets punished for it. Up in, Jemkin a quick peek, trying to find the shot, can't make it happen. Borkum stays alive, does get pushed forward, does get flushed out. As Straya's able to find that kill now. Emily Moore trading one back. Jesse Vash will fall. Value as Jemkin will get that elimination, and now it is all on to Envy. The hold coming through.
Nice.
Low, but Jemkin will be able to keep him protected.
Very good.
Two members left standing, the op retained. RQ tie it up at 3-3.
I mean, nice try from both teams, but RQ
Nggak
comes
ada
out just
komentarnya.
a
Mau
couple
komentar
steps
apa?
ahead. I mean, Xfero, I'm not quite sure what happened there, but it almost looked like he had found a way to get around that turret, maybe just found a timing. Didn't keep my eye on the lurk entirely, so I thought that was going to be the difference maker. NDG was wise about it, still checks it on a timing, takes out the lurk, but by that time, RQ had just slow crept in one step at a time. Sure, trades
Apa yang mau
all the way
dikomentarin?
through, but they're able to approach the spike, and that's what mattered. Of course, they cleared a lot of that utility early as well. That was a big part of it, ruining some of that post plan.
Right there.
Jemkin posted up. Knows that he's going to be going up against a weaker buy, so can just go ahead and hold his ground. Gets the opening shot. Just waiting to see if anybody peeks their head out in towards the nest. Looks like it's just going to be a ground approach here. As will stay low, will get the tag here. Flipshider can back away. Ooh, wide peek out. Jemkin able to find the shot there. Sends another one moments before. Jesse Bash would have likely swung in to his crosshair. The shot's gone, but widely it's just tags here onto the members of RRQ. The spike can get planted.
Gotta play it a little bit safe. Yeah, wait for that retake.
Oh, Jesse spotted. They know that he's going to be stranded forward now. Lockdown, even going to be committed.
You should run.
RQ very much wanting the lead for themselves, and it's going to be a lockdown on the opposite side now. Invested. Xfero pushing forward. Jesse Bash unable to find the headshot. Does end up falling. As lockdown had been destroyed. Now in holding for the defuse. They get it up to half, and they just think of the whole time. Xfero with a quick little second glance. Spots Borkum, takes him down.
Nice.
Envy will find one, but ultimately it is going to be RQ coming away with this round victory. 3 in a row for the squad as they take the lead.
I mean, again, it's just that ace site over and over again, and yes, Secret is famous for doing that against certain opponents, and it's worked in the past. But
it was on Haven, though.
It was on Haven, first of all, with 3 sites. And second, it's just, you know, the Killjoy setups in mid, they just haven't been disrupted much at all. And sure, you've been able to pressure B a little bit here and there, even in the first round, but for the most part, yeah, they can just kind of chill there with the one-way, right? Estrella can buy so much time knowing that he should be comfy. So perhaps after all these times, right, it's several things. RQ, their retakes are now starting to work. They also know how to anchor depending on which utilities used first. You add the op now, so Team Secret, they're going to have to decide if they want to switch up the default at the start of the round.
Timeout called from Team Secret. Trying to get them right back into the driver's seat. Nothing that can't be undone quite just yet. Still just a single round separating the 2 squads. They can come out swinging as this is going to be a bye round for them.
Yeah, very
go ahead and equalize very quickly.
See what the adjustment is, because of course after a timeout, surely the operator going to hold a different position here. Whether it's going to be green or mid, could be that push out from tube as well, but it looks like it's going to be a commitment over to the B site. I mean, this would be the round where Team Secret says, you know,
going,
sure,
hey.
yeah, surely we don't go in and get another time, right? And then they go again.
And it looks like RQ are kind of biting on that. It looks like it will be, okay, rather, Estrella will rotate over to at least be lingering a little bit closer by.
Okay.
Not quite as dire. Previously looked, and okay, just going to be the nano cleared out. Alarm bot's still standing.
Revealing area.
Second nano now set up there. And from Xfarrow to try to slow up the approach should it's very much, you know, end up coming over to A, which right now it looks like it is.
Yeah, and you got that pit ready from the Raptors as well. So RQ, they've got things in place, right? They've got a little bit of mid control. They could go for the flank at any point if they wanted. They're still ready for the potential lurk. They have no reason to rush things out. Alarmbot's still alive on A. You'll have the pit, and you still have screens control.
I mean, they'll have the pit if they can avoid, okay, I was going to say the null command. That is available here from Envy. So pit comes out first. And that was popped. It's Jeremy just playing alongside this one here for now. Jemkin in the meantime gets a catch on the Borkum, who's lurking over outside of green.
Jeremy would just so love to try to get a pick through the pit here.
Musuhnya kelihatan yang enggak dong, ini kan spektakel. Masa iya kelihatan tembok semuanya, enggak dong. Ini kan spektatornya, POV spektatornya. Final kan enggak ini group stage masih. Nggak gitu konsepnya, Lingir. RRQ mengamuk. Let's go.
Yeah, I mean the mind games are in place for sure after that timeout. Trying to guess where the op's gonna go.
Whoa.
Time that it works, but didn't quite account for the pit. And of course, RQ, like you mentioned, it's not just the pit.
Teriak apa itu dia?
I haven't heard Elmimore taken on after flips in a long time, but RQ's feeling the energy. We'll see if they can keep it up to the end, though.
Still a multitude of ults to work with there. Borkum's death does give him the pit. Bash with the Hunter's Fury. If he'll be able to work his magic, is assessing what they really want to go for here, and it's still a decent commitment as he does buy down to a Bulldog.
Not quite the read from NDG.
Clear on the turret. They're keeping that operator disguised for the moment. Borkum in a position where he may just end up getting caught. Try to rotate around, and he actually does manage to make it across unscathed. So now we get into
Jeremy udah masuk aja, Cok.
Yeah, they'll have to get there fast. But the question is how do they hold the flank, right? Because the turret's no longer there. And that's a great double kill from Jeremy.
I mean, yeah. And Elmimore whittled down to 2 HP as well as they just sat there. I mean, Gun Barrel spotted, but Jemkin,
pistolnya kelihatan tuh, pistolnya tuh tadi tuh. Ah, mati dengan racun kan.
So one found, but still so much more to work with, and Vash is in a very disconnected position with a Hunter's Fury online.
Elmimore couldn't get the timing for the kill.
Did they read this cubby hold? No, they did not. Takes down 2, Sheriff in hand.
Itu sheriffnya dapat 2, Cok.
Will not be able to do so. Team Secret, a great reply. Drop the round after the timeout, but
agak jadi marah ini RRQ nih.
love to see Well, exactly went down in mid because it felt like Borkum should have been dead.
Atau gimana nih?
Given that line that was being held by Jemkin.
Yeah, I mean, Jemkin might have been kind of peeking back and forth, perhaps through the tube, trying to make sure that he also doesn't get caught out. But all props to Jeremy
Shit.
for making that happen.
Mantap,
Opens up
mantap,
the
bro.
site with the setup that he's received. NDG holding a great close angle. Able to turn things around on round 9, trying to tie things up again. And here's the scary part. So now RQ has to focus on A side again, right? They tried to take some in.
Oh,
Didn't work.
God.
As Secret's ready for it.
I mean, he had the shot ready to go, but Jeremy just a bit faster. Flip shot now in a very committed position. The drone coming up over the top will spot him out. He just has to try to exit.
Wow!
His fury. It won't even be necessary. Jeremy will be able to just go ahead and get the headshot. Ellie Moore now creeping forward, looking for more. Ends up getting taken down. 5v2. And a call to just completely abandon the site. Team Secret. Then we'll go ahead and get this plant. We'll wait for that spike to detonate.
I don't know if he'll be able to.
Tahunnya sampai berapa? 13.
We'll see. I mean, NDG might try to get a cheeky extra
Ini bisa bunuh kawan nggak bang? Bisa.
lockdown going here if he can try to find a couple extra kills.
Yeah, I mean, plenty of reasons to
Bisa.
hunt Xvero, the one person you probably don't want to come across, given that he's a little bit closer to having the lockdown, but only a few more rounds to play. Looks like widely Team Secret will just take this patiently, take this safely. We'll just hold on to all 5 as they get this flawless round and tie us up at 5-5. And Des was talking about it, you know, they felt like it was going to be likely that this ends up going to overtime, and right now, given how inseparable the teams are being, it does seem like that could very well be the case, but we kind of thought the same thing on Split.
Well, and we also felt that way both times that RQ played Gen G, and they never quite made it to overtime.
That's a good point.
So we'll see. But right now, Secret right back in command of the round-to-round pacing. Because, you know, after the timeout, they go for it again. That time, RQ reads it. But then they go for it again. RQ thinks, surely not after that one.
And looking to just go ahead and, you know, burn some of the cash that they've been stocking up on, hoarding it like a dragon. Jeremy going to be bringing another attack operator into the mix here.
Yeah, with the Blade Storm as well, so might as well try to even things out. That'll make the tempo change a little bit unexpected for RQ. But again, whether they go A or not, Secret has command. Because RQ's the one left guessing. They're denied pipes control. They're denied some of their early util. And if they don't push out and clear that turret early, they're denied mid control as well.
Everything grinding to a halt. The silence filling the arena here. As both teams are making any noise.
Yang menang dapat apa?
Straight sprays.
Pertanyaan macam apa itu anjing?
Wise just silence here.
Lagi nggak meta kah nggak turnamen nggak tahu ya.
About what this approach is going to look like. Drift back across.
3 round lagi enggak dong, harus 1 yang 13 bukan totalnya.
On this A side of the map. Scanning ahead. We're just sending that recon out. Let's get cleared.
Yeah, that should give them a better idea of where things are going to be coming.
Over the top, knives now pulled. Jeremy rotating in, but
nge-whiff cok, aduh, sayang banget.
More in the meantime, finding MDG pit now invested. Throwing the double swing out. Borkum doesn't manage to find out more, but now he's all on his Lotus of the spike outside the pit. Recovers it. Goes to the plant.
What did?
Got one snake bite left.
What did? Let's go, what did? Aduh, kena flank kah mereka? What did?
Wah, anjing. Oh my god, right as he goes to exit the pit, he must have been able to see the gun barrel, but Jemkin is right clicks for the headshot. An RQ, they will move up to 6.
Had to have been, because that's a crazy shot to take if it wasn't for it. But either way, great pacing there from the duo that remained alive from RQ, not wanting to give Borkum a chance to reposition and play the mind games in his own.
Pecah kepalanya, kena kunai itu guys.
Barely hang on to the lead. We'll see if they can catch on to it. Things look dicey from Flips. Eventually though, he gets the jet. That's the important part, so it doesn't keep flying around the site.
Yep, just a tiny bit of gun.
Now RQ, once again, back to the op setup on B. And, you know, kind of hoping that it's not going to be that A hit. You know, they'll be prepared for the retake with the Thrash and the Hunter series. They can afford to play a bit of a weaker A site this time. And Team Secret, a bit of a change here. Just allows for the dart to ping out. Want to get ready for a pitch on A.
Feels like for maybe the first time, and we've seen some sidelines drawn towards mid, but never really a push like this from Secret. So a bit of a change up here. Just how committed to this they're going to end up being is MDG just eating a little tiny bit of damage there.
Gotta watch out on this window.
Placing sentry.
Heard the rotation across. Jemkin for now still just alone on that B side. He's going to have to rotate over quickly. His flip shot are going to be taken down. That's a thrash now out of the equation. Elmore eventually is able to find Jeremy with the spray to try to equalize, but now Sparrow trading up. NDG gone. That interrupts and very much makes Jesse Vash second guess this plant position.
Wih, nice banget itu wallbangnya, Cok.
Now it's a
Player
deep
killed
lurk as
off.
well.
This very much changes up the game plan.
Tar. Tar. Tar.
The final shot from Elmore will not be able to find its mark. V. Forward spot needs to open things up here for the team.
Aduh.
This 2v3 and it does. Gone, but Sparrow just lurking around the back. The wall drops. Sparrow.
Very good.
His contributions not needed. RQ with
Very good.
left will be able to close out this first half 7-5.
Nice half, nice half.
Yeah, the mid kill onto NDG was huge because we saw that the Killjoy was nullified, so that turret wasn't going to have much value. It still gets taken down. NDG just needs to draw aggro out so his teammates can plant onto the site. But of course, that makes Xfero very well aware that he has to clear that flank before he's able to assist his teammates in any way, shape, or form. The lurk battle comes in favor of RQ, and that 7-5 lead for the Indonesian squad. See if they can get that first victory. It's been a long time, like the Jets talked about.
Nice half, nice half. 75 ya, 75 ya. Let's go. Menang pistol pasti menang, Cok.
What was the true power level of RQ at kickoff? Sure, Gen G, they looked like they continued to improve, but could that have been RQ, right? So many questions on a lot of people's minds. And if they want to prove that the potential was there, they got to make sure that they can close out a best of 3 first of all.
Sure. I mean, like Ewok was saying during their interview on the analyst desk, you know, we consider that we're still in 7th place until proven otherwise.
Let's go, RRQ.
Team Secret are certainly looking to test them and keep them as low in the standings as they possibly can. 7-5. Not much of a difference between these squads. Secret, 1 additional pistol round win so far. See if they can add another one to the mix here. And just immediately cut that gap in half.
Alright, Secret. See if they try to do a little bit of that aggressive push on the A site. You know, at the end of the day, the overall idea being the same for both of these teams as they both still have that Silva. It's not going to be super aggressive like the KO Geckos. But of course, you can still get a little bit of that early info control. Try to set up your Jets for success.
0 point forward.
Ini gonta ganti kah atau tutup sama? Gonta ganti dong. Kan ada ban and pick-nya juga.
Meantime, chasing from behind. We'll put the tag on him.
They haven't checked for Jeremy though. Still hidden on top of the screen.
And this could be a very unpleasant surprise here for RQ. There you go, makes his presence known.
Itu nggak di cover itu. Apa-apaan ini? Apa ini maksudnya?
Sheriff is able to find Jeremy. Gets them into a better position. Swings back around the side for the headshot.
3 lawan 1 si
Borkum now, the last one standing.
3 lawan 1 si masa ke one tap semua nggak mungkin kan.
Snake bite gonna be thrown down. The wide swing
Nice.
across. He will be able to get
Ada yang mati keracunan tuh ya tuh.
Sheriff and Ghost will be retained as RQ.
Ada yang mati keracunan tuh.
3-3 in pistols across this series, and they stretch the lead even further.
Yeah, this is as close as it gets. 3-3 on pistols is a crazy stat line. Really just goes to show, and I think everyone that was trying to predict this match all around the world, everyone agreed it was 50-50. It's just where you put a little bit more faith, right? What do you weigh a little bit more? Is it just the stats that we saw at kickoff, or is it what you think is going to be the interpretation of the roles in the comps?
Udah guys, menang guys. Yang menang pistol pasti menang, Cok.
But nonetheless, a very tight
Valorant tuh
match.
begitu
Maybe
anjing.
RQ can change that up now that they are on for the anti-eco.
Jeremy dropping down. Estrella certainly will have heard this. As a couple shots go his way. Now he's going to look for the catch.
Nice.
It's nicely, patiently played
Weh.
out. Back yellow does end up falling, but
Pelan-pelan nggak sih Pak Supir?
Borkum there.
Buset, dikejar nggak tuh? Dikejar nggak tuh? Dikejar nggak tuh? Dikejar nggak tuh?
NDG with a recovered Vandal. Things very scrappy, very dangerous here for RRQ. Selby Moore still far forward, getting hunted. It's another weapon recovered.
That's what Elmi Moore wanted to protect, but yeah, now you don't really have a choice. Now your positions are good, right? You've got Defender spawn, got the spike planted. So Elmi Moore just has to play for time.
Goes the challenge. Recon quickly clears.
Plus.
Gets the headshot on the one.
Satu lagi.
Find the second. Sends out a warning shot, but Invi continues the challenge. Finds the kill, but now he himself in a 1v2. Spike already planted. It's against two Bulldogs. Just quick little fake tap there on the rope. 0 point at the ready. Stop some of this post-plant util from coming through, but Bosch already thrown down. Wingman going to be cleared out. He does get the suppressor. The Snake Bites can't come into play for the moment. Tap on the spike, swings out, finds one. Is he ready, though, for the approach on the
Wait.
but he is! 4 bullets, but no time! Such incredible efforts from the side of Invi, but Elmi Moore, like you said, had to play time. He bought enough of it, got that kill as a parting gift. And it just wasn't enough to work with. So RRQ, they do get the round win. They lose everything in the mix there. But Team Secret just knocked down another peg.
Yeah, and honestly, if you're an RQ fan, though, I would say that that round starts to show a bit of the same
Rugi
concerns.
dong.
That was a round where the team wasn't all on the same page. Were they going to back out or not? Are we going to stand fight or not? You have the rifles. You don't want to give that over. And that starts to spread you thin. It's going to cost you this bonus round. You do have the Soul Vandal. We'll see if they can make a miracle out of it to try to keep the lead.
Oh my god.
Oh, goodness.
Jeremy very much lucky to get away with his life there. Jesse Bash does find Elmi Moore for his trouble.
Yeah, basically says, don't bother my son. Shuts him down.
Now just flush against the wall. Invi right there alongside him. Triple threat crossfire set up there on that A site. RQ though, not going out of the same playbook as Team Secret. They will inch towards the B site this time. Wall goes up.
They can get the plant down. Will be the Thrash available, whether it's this round or the next. Now they've got mid control as well, trying to back out from the utility.
I like this though. It's just a tap on the spike. Try to draw out what util they can get. So bite down. Borkum revealing that he is going to be playing back in Snowman.
So they have mid control, so they're considering rotating over because of the time, which I don't mind that in and of itself. But will they have the leisure to clear out the site? Because Jeremy is still there.
Yeah, it could still very much shut down all hopes and dreams of getting that spike planted as Estrella. Not going to be noted by the drone, but by the 0 points. So they know that there's still some forward presence here.
Yeah, I mean, this is a lot of assumptions for RQ. They're hoping that their movement out has kind of made this site a little bit weaker. It's not going to be the truth.
Okay, well, Flipshed are going to be taken down as the spike interrupted. Plant not through. 10 seconds now remaining. In the hands here of Xpero, but now Estrella finding NDG. Push forward, Borkum is able to get Estrella. That's the spike planted.
Let's go. 1, 2 lawan 3, bisa kah?
To have that one come through.
Spike-nya udah ke-plant sih.
Checking for mid.
Saling cover aja nggak sih?
Turn back, look towards kitchen. Jeremy now.
Nice.
Opposite
Gak
side
jadi
of
nice
this
ya.
wall, and as
Oke.
Jim back through, he will fall.
Oh no.
Secret able to close out this round.
Tidak jadi nice, guys.
Converted here from RRQ. Only 2 members.
Oh
lost.
my god.
Could have been worse for wear.
Yeah, I mean, on both sides, right? Things could have gotten a lot worse for RQ as well. You could have just not gotten anything, quite frankly, on this round. Given how the anti-eco went, still got the plan.
This is
down,
disaster,
still got the Thrash
boys.
online, got a couple of kills, forced Team Secret to have to buy up once again, making sure they can't just start banking up all the way to infinity.
Just the instant nade death.
Yeah. The thing that Team Secret will also have to recognize is they're also getting a little antsy, right? Trying to just shut down the plant and then giving up an extra kill here and there. So hopefully the players discussing that and coaches hopefully liking what they're hearing in the comms. Gonna be that forward control. The ping won't happen as that dart's a little bit too deep.
Yeah, not quite on the corner of the wall, so Jeremy go unnoted for now, given the noise made earlier. Got a decent idea. 0 point just to cancel the rest of the drone there.
Well, that means
Has
that
had
they
to drop off.
Yeah, now they have to respect that Thrash as well, right? They have to respect the space they gave all the way up to the front of pipes. So Team Secret, it's either empty the site entirely or try to flood it. And that has left mid entirely open for Jemkin, no matter where they go.
There's a ping down on tube, but I'm not necessarily sure if it was under tube or on tube itself. Either way, they have to be aware that there's going to be somebody in kitchen. Crash now going to be coming through for any kind of target. We'll just go back around over towards Flip so he can get the quick recovery.
Oh, the drone and the turret to clear him out.
Okay, he'll just go ahead and clear both. Xfero take it down in the meantime, trying to go on that deep forward push in towards the A side, but Jeremy very much privy to it. He's able to find that elimination.
Can't do it.
An advantage there for Secret. As widely, I think they just have to wait for the ult to come back up here for Flips, which it is now available. Man gets the plant across. They have a chance at this post plant, but oh, Jeremy makes it that much more difficult for him. Jemkin taken down. No command now going to be invested here.
Oh, that no command is going to be huge. The Thrash can't be used. You just have to hold on to yellow with your guns.
Envy on the floor. Flipshider trying to rotate around, get himself across the side of that. But he just ends up dying to it, and it's a catastrophic mistake. As the res was in, and in the end, it's still 4 players alive retaining their weapons here for the side of Team Secret. Just not able to get across that. There's no safety on that side.
Waterpark, bro, waterpark.
I mean, just trying to decide which way he wants to peek out for an extra
Waterpark,
kill.
man.
Like you said, that means he stays in the middle way longer as well.
Apa itu, Dek?
Takes too many hits. Elmimore a little shaky on that last fight as well. So surely, okay, it's going to be a
Waterpark,
timeout.
bro,
Gotta
bro.
imagine from RRQ. Because you're probably hearing a little bit of that breakdown, right? A little bit of the discrepancy on what the call is, a little bit of discrepancy on, you know, what value do we hold right now? Do we want to hold on to yellow? We still have mid control from Jemkin, things like that.
Haven't seen any intervention from Ewok on this map quite just yet, but now that they're back within touching distance, only 2 rounds separating. Yeah, wants to get in here and clean up whatever is going wrong on stage. So a moment of reprieve perhaps here for Team Secret. 2 rounds picked up in a row for themselves to make this just about neck and neck once more. We'll take a look as we get ready to go back into this, what the economy looks like at the moment here for RRQ, because, you know, going into the second half,
Ih, lucu
the
banget
wins,
bonekanya.
they have not been clean. And as we can see, the buy isn't either.
Yeah, it's just going to be a full half buy here. Or, yeah, just a half buy, I guess is a better phrasing for that. And the thing is sure, you've got mid control a couple times, but it hasn't really meant much in the grand scheme of things. Team Secret is very well aware of how much space they have given in mid. And curious to see if RQ continues to try to utilize it, if they think they have better ways to utilize it, or if they start to just stack the numbers a bit more in their favor on the execute. Now this time we will see a turret ready. So NDG gonna position himself to cover both B site and mid. Allows everyone to be ready for a hit onto A. They recognize the half buy coming in.
You hear that dash, heal out onto 1 there, but for now it's just blind spraying through walls. Looking for any kind of straight connections they can get. Fragment out to try to interrupt, but Plant has already come through. It's just a moment too late until there, but ability still going to be found. Flips it straight up, both taken so damn low.
Apa ini, Le?
Retake here from the side of Team Secret, not losing a single player. Envy, sure, down to 1 HP, but unless you're dead, doesn't count. So that's going to be Secret now, closing this gap even further. 9 to 8. We have to suspect that this is the round the timeout is for. RQ get ready to come back in with a purchase.
See what value they can get out of it. Both sides, 1 away from the lockdown. Blade Storm is available as well. So you can't really rely on the ult cycles to be in your favor at any point. They're always going to match up against each other, so it has to be the reads from round to round. Now that one, sure, you know, it's off the timeout. You expect the half buy on both sides. So you can chalk it up to Team Secret just having a good read on the econ. Now it's going to be that early push onto green. No lurk on the side of A, mind you. So a big commitment here.
Drone cleared. Jeremy noted up on top of yellow. There's a recon dart from Jesse all the way at top mid. Does get the ping out on the 2. So they know that there is a decent amount of players on this side. Scheider getting tucked away. Play safe here is Elmimore eating even more damage. Not going to 75 and Flips. Oh boy.
Jeez.
What a wild jump out.
What in the world?
The man is just an absolute lunatic between the fragment and this.
I mean, the fact that he has more health than Elmimore as well. Elmimore just took all those shots to the toxic screen the entire time.
Just getting absolutely destroyed, and that is not how you want your round to start.
Team Secret should be fairly prepared for this. They'll go ahead. Of course, the orb having been taken, the lockdown, and the pit as well. So RQ just wanting to try to keep the lead. Surely they use the pit. Because the lockdown not quite available just yet for NDG.
But not being sent, but Wingman in a very odd position. Doesn't take it out on the plant there from Flips. I mean, it's just so damn low, but it's going to be Jesse Bash somehow that falls first here in this round. Estrella able to find that kill. Clear out on the nanos, but Spike still not committed here.
The pit doesn't give you too much room to work with for the plant. Now
Okay, well,
finally they're dwindling the numbers though.
That'll certainly help. Yeah, Envy going to be taken out. They could just try to go ahead and flood retake this
Nice,
one. They're gonna try to
nice.
swing their way forward into the pit, but it's just an absolute shooting gallery. As RQ, I mean, just about every disadvantage. They
Very
could
good,
have
very
handled
good,
early on
very
the
good.
round without somebody dying. You manage to scrape by with that victory. They keep Team Secret at an arm's length distance at the moment. So once again, moving up by 2 to give themselves to 10-round wins.
Yeah, overall, kind of a good idea from both sides, right? Team Secret, sure, their econ's fine, so they wait for that last attempt to plant. If you can just take out the spike, then that should give you the round win. Meanwhile, RQ using that against them.
Win
Make
berapa?
sure that they put
13,
those numbers
iya.
first, and then you just spam through pre-fire on that potential retake for the challenge.
I mean,
Now the op online.
Tell me more. That's the second time he's gotten wall banged in that position while
Yeah.
doing that same drone. Now he's down to 54 HP.
Gotta be careful where you activate those. Well, for now, at the very least, he's still alive. The utility can assist. Now, cutting noise for the time being, but nothing sighted in mid. So, Team Secret, they've already shifted the op over to A. That side's well covered. Still 2 members on B to delay.
Alarm bot triggered there. It's going to be sent in. Wingman going for the plant, however. Fight a little bit too deep to actually get the kill. So, plant is in. The full 5v5 for the retake. NDG with the lockdown, though, could cause some chaos. Selby Moore still 2 away from having that Hunter's Fury, so they do not have an easy clear on this.
Right, the double flank around mid, though. They've always only sent 1. Going for the double, and it's planted for mid as well. So if they can just get by.
Flips. He's giving his life for the cause. Pushes forward far enough to be able to find that one, but now Elby Moore going to be
Buset dah,
finished.
itu maksudnya flip the gear tuh apa itu? Maksudnya tuh apa itu mainnya begitu tuh? Hah? Apa itu, Cok? Itu gerakan apa itu, Cok?
It's a fairly decisive and quick retake. Team Secret will continue to hang.
Gerakan apa itu? Timnya mundur semua, dia maju sendiri loh.
They try to send a failsafe there, and he just understands my job is to make sure that there is no flank. I mean, surely after they see the spike plant location as well, somewhat aware of it, but how does he read the second? Just incredible.
Nice, boys.
So, very clean here. As there you go, another timeout now.
Holy shit, man,
Only
holy
3
shit.
rounds separated here from RRQ. The pressure heating up now.
You have to imagine if you're on the side of Secret, though, it feels good to draw out these timeouts so close to each other. You know that the pressure's getting to them. You see how they're playing in the round, and now you got to imagine that they're probably a bit flustered during the timeout. I mean, one of the things that we got to talk about with the coaches during some of the timeout episodes didn't quite make it into the final cut, but was also about just how precious the timer is in a timeout, right? You don't get to just sit around and discuss things. It's about just sending a message, getting maybe one piece of feedback back and forth, and then you got to move on with a couple extra steps of plans and really set up your players for the mid-rounding, the round-to-round adjustments, everything in just a span of 60 seconds. So curious to see if Ewok's going to be happy with the message he was able to share.
It's a hell of a lot easier when all you need to tell your players is turn your brains off.
Some teams just have it easier, man.
Let's see if any of it's lost in translation here from Ewok to the rest of RQ. As, again, I mean, Alt Economy is swinging back around here.
Dari rival dari Indo semua enggak. 2 Indo, 3 luar.
That Hunter's Fury, that Thrash.
3 Indo, 2 luar ya?
Both those players.
Ya pokoknya begitulah.
Where's the drone?
Nggak full Indo.
The wall goes up and then the drone comes out. Where's the drone?
Well, then 0 point also only tagging the 2 members. So RQ, it looks like the original plan was to try to pressure the operator, then send the main forces into A, then kind of rotate back around, but gets spotted out early, so you have to reset. Now it's just death ball into A site. Now no command available for the retake and the pit too if they want to use it for the defuse. So RQ, they got to decide before they go in. Are we pushing out or not? Because you're not going to have much time to decide afterwards.
Invested fight goes down. And DG just out of range of that Mosh. Still just tucked away here in backside. Like that one tap on the Jemkin. Does get flushed out there as Flipshider's able to find the kill, but Borkum quick to reply. Laying up on the back Raptors. Gets that headshot now. Drops down, looks to take a much more aggressive position. Swings back out. Able to find Xpero. Finds Elmi more. And that is the cleanup. Time
Buset.
up be damned. Team Secret once again.
10 sama cok begitu aja dengan mudah.
The fuse is theirs. One player lost. Cash aplenty. And now we are tied up at 10 to 10.
Once again, I mean, Team Secret, right? They had the things like the null command. Sure, you have the operator on the side, but you have the blade storm. Everything is there for a potential retake.
Oh my god.
I mean, that was kind of the deal breaker, because otherwise Jemkin's position was pretty good to give them time for a good post-play scenario. NDG making sure that he becomes the wild card for Team Secret, and now they've tied it back 10-10.
Caution here.
I mean, the first time that they've had the lead since round 5 here. Team Secret.
Oh, Jeremy. Shots across straight down to 85, but still alive. Noting a multitude of players there. Hit now just invested Borkum, wanting to make this B side of the map completely unassailable for them unless they go under tube.
I really like this pit.
They're getting through this one.
Oh no!
And this could be
Oh no!
catastrophic. 2 players already down. Sparrow jumping back, answering spray, trying to find anything that he could possibly get, but for whatever reason, the spike now stranded. Does get picked up. Jeremy aware of this, sends out some shots, and Borkum, he'll find him in the end right as he exits.
Here.
Flipshider on the other side. Jeremy would love to try and confirm as to whether or not that spike is still on the ground or if it's been recovered. They just know that Flipshider was in the radius of that 0 point. In the garage here for now.
Flips is just waiting for someone to peek out, but again, there's no reason to. So it looks like it's just going to be a save here if they can help it for RQ, but not exactly a safe position for it either.
Not at all. Jemkin now sat back here in the attacker spawn. He spots ahead of one. He's able to go ahead and take that down. But I don't think he has. Maybe he has no idea that Envy is just on the opposite side. And DC now getting ready to push. There's the swing out. Shot goes a little bit wide. Jemkin will be able to find Envy, but Borkum will get himself a third.
Wow.
As Team Secret regained the lead, 11 to 10.
GG
Game
kacok.
plans here for RQ just not coming to fruition. You know, we've seen teams in the past, a pit comes down. It's like, okay, well, they won't expect us to try to flush them out of this one. Team Secret, they expected it. They were absolutely ready.
Yeah, I love the extra touch to keep Jeremy in there. Right, that way the Viper's pit can still be safe. You can still make sure that you hold a cheeky spot. And overall, they still have the Killjoy set up
Bertumbek
all
manis,
on A.
sepertinya
They're
begitu ya
ready to step in. If there was a
manis.
rotate, Team Secret is looking better and better round to round. Multi-step flowcharts here for the defending half.
Results still not coming through quite just yet. There's one. Crash, try to lead the charge. I mean, yeah, just bringing it back around for the quick recovery. A couple extra steps forward here. But I mean, this is right now a game of inches by RQ.
Yeah, doesn't give you much though. Sure, Hunter's here on both sides. But you have so much to clear. Shock Dart's not clearing any of it.
Yep, still 2 nanos available, but just on the outskirts is that wingman with a Hunter's Fury as well as that Sync Bite lobbed in. Plant cannot come through, so now going to be scooped up. Shiner be able to put the spike down. 5v5. RQ look to try to retie things here at 11 to 11.
Jemkin was spotted when he tried to push out of Raptors, so we'll see. TS is wise about his position once again. It's going to be the same spot. The flash is good.
Flashes in to Borkum. This man should stay alive. It's a little bit of damage, but then also comes back around, finds Estrella. Elmi Moore catching the lurk forward, gets rid of Jeremy. Should absolutely have heard NDG. Yep, they know exactly where he is. The drop down. It's a matter of whether or not he can try to clutch this one out, but time is going to be dwindling. have to get himself onto that spike pretty much right here, right now. Can still do some significant damage though as he finds flips. Nick Sparrow.
Oh my god, sebelah sama nih.
11-11. We are tied up once more. Make a wish. So once again, have no idea who is going to be taking this map win. Who's going to be winning this series? Both teams just fighting tooth and nail for it.
Yeah, absolutely. Team Secret, I mean, they seem to have a couple extra steps to I mean, of course, they have to come a longer way here to try to retake the lead, or at least keep it tied up. So a couple extra rounds, right, where they're one step ahead, but not enough to stay ahead fully in the half. Now, Hunter's Fury still online for Elmimore. That's going to be huge here for RRQ. They're also just 1 point ahead in terms of getting close to that lockdown. Now, you know, if you're RRQ, I would love to see them still send the Hunter's Fury, as I was saying that, regardless of waiting for a potential lockdown in the next round.
Not the way that you want to start things off. Flips dead. So much of your util, your corner checks gone. Your quote-unquote easy plant.
Now, something we haven't seen either team really do is try to clear out the util on B, get the plant, and aggressively push into B. Now, part of it, of course, it's not the KO get-go. You don't have as much aggression, but that has made it difficult for both teams to try to hold on to this B side in a very stable manner.
Dart out, wall goes up. Welcome again.
Early lurk from Estrella.
Sends that as Sparrow moves forward, does get the plan across, and NDG going to be taken down. Estrella with that lurk, as you were mentioning, does come up with a huge pick-off. NDG's been the one keeping the team honest. Saw the gun barrel, but Jeremy still just continuing to swing out. Finds the punish. That's the Viper now gone. Lockdown does buy space and time here for RRQ, but now a 3v4 to try to keep this defended. They don't have very much post-plant utility aside from Elmimore with this Hunter's Fury.
You got to rely on that. You just have to get to that match point.
Fair point out, there's Hunter's Fury on the back and held to half in Be Gone. Jemkin able to pick off Jeremy moments before. Sparrow
Nice.
to keep tabs on this. He finds the kills in RQ. They get themselves up to match point.
Match point, let's go.
Despite the situation, one of the more calm rounds we've seen from RRQ. Very just cold-hearted in terms of what they needed to do for the win condition. First of all, an early alert, they know that they've been getting picked off if it's late. Second, they go for the Hunter's Fury. Jemkin still covering the Sova as well, but understanding that they have
one more team,
once again. Now finally, that counter timeout.
One more team. Let's
from
go.
Team Secret. But it almost looks like it's Ewok's timeout. He's going at it on his screen.
Oh, I mean, at this point, both teams going to be giving it everything that they have. RQ, a good recovery despite the very rough beginning of that one, losing out on Flipscheider. Seemed like maybe that was going to cost them dearly. That alert from Estrella, even though he doesn't get the, he does get taken down by Jeremy, he can try to keep that off a little bit more honest. Pick on the NDG, he's been the one that's been responsible for keeping track of those flanks coming through.
Last poinnya, boleh sih.
Allows Rick Sparrow find an immense amount of value there right at the end of the round. Now Secret needed this one here to push us into overtime. Desk was talking about how likely it is, but ults, none available for either team.
All of it used up. NDG just about the closest one. Of course, Flip's close to the Thrash as well, but 2 points, not something that you can really bank on within the round. Not something you want to greed for sure.
Yeah.
Placing swarm grenade.
Lockdown from NDG could be there if he finds some solid impact. Now it's just going to be playing back, like you said, going aggressive, trying to hunt to be able to get those charges online. Could very well be your undoing, so see if they just come to him naturally.
The early Nano Swarm used in mid towards Boiler, but the turret this time sitting in Kitchen, right? That's plagued them a couple times. So Team Secret just trying to make sure that they're not caught off guard. This way they can focus a little bit more on the site, only worry about under tube. This time, a very classic 4-1 setup. Still a full minute on the clock. This is exactly where RQ wants to be as the attackers. Meanwhile, on Team Secret, starting to get a pretty decent read given the utility usage.
Dizzy up over the top. Rotation's not yet beginning here for Secret. They are going to be, they're very
Selamat
wary
berbuka bagi yang
about this
menjalankan.
potential
Emang
lurk
udah buka
forwards,
puasa,
especially
guys?
in double coverage. Watching out for Xfero, but he is playing so far back.
Kata produser 12-12.
A lot of utilities still in the hands of Team Secret to delay the plant. I think that's what they're banking on.
Yuk, bisa yuk. Last match nih. Last point nih lah. Aduh. Dekonya nggak berhasil. Masang cok.
Dead. Flash out, drop down off top of yellow. See that position, but the spike gets planted all the same. But the man advantage is there for Team Secret.
Thrash online. That's the biggest hope right now because you can't go for another lurk after Jeremy stays alive.
Flashes out, flip shot are going to be taken down. No
Nice,
chance, and use
nice,
it again.
nice.
Fragment down, Invi. Finding the
Nggak
kill.
jadi
Gets
nice.
the headshot. We are tied up once
Aduh,
again at
tiebreaker
12-12.
cok.
The disc prophesies that the teams have delivered overtime
Jadi
here in our
tiebreaker
opening series of the day.
cok.
What patience from Jeremy. Just the fact that you have full faith that it has to be this, because if it was a death ball, if it was a bye-man, surely there was more
Tiebreaker
action.
lele. Aduh, kayak mana pula ini?
They stopped that yellow. They didn't attempt the plant. They didn't attempt to draw more utility. So I will still stick around. My teammates still have
Kurang
utility
nih
to
kalau
delay,
begini nih.
and it pays off. Tenfold for Secret. Now bringing it back to overtime.
Kurang udah begini, guys.
Overtime to settle it all. Another timeout awarded to both of these squads. Let's see who has to pull the trigger on that first.
Another round to go A for Team Secret. Looks like that's going to be the plan.
That's why you
once
got
again.
4 players from RQ on that side of the map right now. Jemkin, see the flash, quick clear out on the dart. Won't note him, but with a 0 point, they have a pretty good idea.
Team Secret's been very good about denying any access to pipes. RQ, I don't think there's a single round where they were really able to hold on to it. They've tried to contest for it a couple times, but they've always had to kind of go to their next step B. This time it's going to be that mid-hold. Xfero has found some success with this during kickoff as well.
They very much want to make sure that they got rid of this alarm button, but it was recalled by Xfero. Very nicely timed. Figures, well, if I place it again, yep, they'll hear that, but maybe I can draw even more utility out of them.
And now with the alarm bot, he can try to stay focused up on the window, trying to play anti, it looks like.
DG just going to be creeping back, and now this does lead Borkum over towards that piece out of the map. And DG gets the headshot in the end. Straight up at top mid, pushing up over, trying to see if he can get a spot, but he's already dipped out of there. Kill cannot be found. Flash is now dumped, and that is drawing all the attention from RQ back over onto the A site, including Flipshider.
Oh, what a fake. What a sell. The mosh, it's not going to be enough. He'll
Not deep enough.
Oh.
Doesn't even find the angle. Even on the back end. An alarm bot would have gotten taken down, but yeah, just didn't throw it far enough. Now RQ. How did they get themselves out of this hole? Team Secret in such a strong position. Kurt set up, Dizzy up over the top, not finding much. You get the ping across there, NDG and Jeremy both being revealed, and Jemkin able to find 2. Borkum answering back, finds Flipshider. Jemkin, so much more work to be done. Drone
What?
ready.
Nice. What's this?
Pulls out the knife,
Let's go.
finds Borkum.
Woo!
Jemkin bails them out of such an
Ngeri bro, Jemkin.
to get the opening round win in overtime.
Gila.
These two, okay.
Es dia bro.
Oh, and from there it's just
Holy shit, holy shit.
Unbelievable.
Dia aja nggak percaya, cok. Waterpark katanya, guys.
We were all thinking it. He's just the one who said it.
Waterpark, bro.
wow.
Gila.
I mean, what a bailout for sure, because they got
Waterpark,
played
man.
on the map. They just absolutely got handled on map control.
Babang Jenkin.
But Jemkin, that might have been the round that everyone's been waiting for since they heard the announcement of Jemkin being signed. Things like that.
Secret, can they continue to push back and persevere? Tying this up once again, or will RQ finally be able to break away from them and get that first win here of the season, of the year? They're on the dart. Borkum still going to be noted, though. backs away. For now, still no forward presence. This time, though, RQ, they're playing this one out patiently, and that does keep Jeremy tied to that A side. He's suspecting that there's going to be that lurk once again. Now they all start working their way forward as NDG nearly caught with util in hand.
Nice.
Down, but it's Sparrow still finding him. Borkum dead. The plant now in a 3v5 to keep themselves in this matchup, in this overtime.
5 lawan 3 nih, masa kalah sih? 5 lawan 3 ini, bro. Oke, mainan dulu keluarin. Pesawat terbang itu, pesawat mainan. Nice. Let's go. Aduh. Aduh. Nice. GG. Gila. 5 lawan 3 aja loh. Sengit gitu, bro. Buset dah, buset.
Very different opponent for sure, but it's been a long time coming since RQ
Mantap ya, RRQ ya. Boleh.
The overeating comes through again. A little bit of turmoil in the game plan, but they calm things down. I mean, everything that you hoped for when this roster was announced, the rebuild. Jemkin, that amazing ace to really bail them out and keep them in the lead and over.
GG ngasih guys ini guys. GG ngasih guys. Sengit banget ya matchnya ya. Sengit banget ya adik-adik.
All the credit to Team Secret playing that one close, you know, if not dominantly there on split as well. The map that we thought, you know, once we went over there with RQ out in front, this was just going to be a 2-0. They managed to show that, yep, they can, you know, reinvent themselves on that map. They can find wins after so many, just, I mean, at this point, years. You know, it's been basically years since they had a victory on
GG
that
Gaming
one.
ya.
They managed to
GG cok, retrinya Irat itu terakhir.
Fortunately for them, it's RQ standing just a bit taller.
2-1 guys, 2-1 guys. RRQ menang 2-1.
There's plenty to break down, so we're going to go ahead and pass this back over to the analyst desk.
After 260 days over that, RQ finally
GG ya, retri Irat ya. Boleh-boleh Lancelot dia tuh.
We went into overtime, but Jemkin ended it all with an ace. And Valdez, will you join me in praising Paperthin a little bit here in his predictions?
It's pretty smart. Heck yeah. Yes, the overtime, the RRQ victory. He saw the lines, and it actually happened. I mean, Team Secret, they really showed up today. I really have to give them credit, especially, you know, the 3 maps. They got it really close here on Icebox, but RRQ, I think, you know, you're talking about the Chinese, it's
GG
a
bro.
little bit of the
GG banget.
right at the end there.
GG sekali ya.
When it mattered most, he was able to step up, and so many of these rounds were so close. I mean, it easily could have gone either way, but man, RQ just barely able to clutch it out at the end.
Yeah, this was an insanely great map. I mean, these two teams always go back and forth. It feels like every match RRQ plays is extremely tight, and once again, you know, in overtime, just like kind of what we saw in LCQ last year against Zeta, doesn't go nearly as long, of course, and they actually come out on the other side
Masuk
of it.
playoff kan ya? Nggak tahu ya. Ini masih group stage kok.
A lot to work on for RRQ. I'm very happy for Team Secret in the sense that they bounced back really nicely here after a difficult first map, had a great second map, kind of lost a little bit of their grip coming into the tail end of this one. But my concern now is that after such a rough week for Team Secret, like how are they going to bounce back after this? Because it's been a really, really challenging week for them.
Yeah, that's a great question, but we did see exactly that happen in kickoff too, and they do manage to find a way to bounce back, and they did.
Ya udah guys, thank you semua yang udah nonton. Gua off dulu ya, mau istirahat dulu. Mungkin ntar malam kita live lagi ya, main Mobile Legends ya. Thank you semua yang udah nonton, yang udah like, yang udah subrek. Thank you semua. Kita ketemu di nanti malam lagi guys. Bye bye.
There's still a lot of mistakes that I'm seeing that need to be cleaned up on both ends.
Yeah, it wasn't the cleanest match, to be honest, from both sides. I mean, even for RQ on that second map, which was their choice, it was like really rough on the attacker side.